Because
this party is on the road.
Yeah, because we only have 3.5 hours, which sounds like a lot, but it's not. We know this from past experience. So we'll have a quick rundown on what's going on. And I have some notes somewhere around here. Objectives: to deliver gifts. That's your first objective, to deliver gifts to King Ivran Erethani of the High Elves at Hemath Tirith in Sidariel, having passed through the gate into the Feywild, or from the Feywild. The Winter Court sent you. You arrived, you came across a town, a very frozen town with some evidence of some sort of attack there. I don't know if you guys made too many notes about that. You can feel free to add details. And your second objective is to report back to the Winter Queen on the state of the kingdom of Tularathion. You have been through the crossing. Well, let's going from the beginning. You gathered together at the Winter Court, at the Ice Castle. You traveled to the portal across a vast plain of ice and snow and trees buried up to their tips. On the far side was a mountain range where you had a wee bit of a tussle with a hag and a corrid. You might not have known that at the time, but you did. Then you went through the portal, which was in a cave, reminding Nyla of her crystal cave where she learnt her Druid of the Stars business. Now you have been traveling down the road from the township at the top of the Highbrook Pass, which you're probably not even aware was the Highbrook Pass at this point, heading down to the Sufferance, whereupon you arrived. Max's character was able to see into the ethereal with true sight or something to that effect, and had some sort of vision, which seems to have terrified her. His character is a her. And now you are on a boat, on a barge, traveling through the Sufferance. That's the general gist of it, I believe. Anyone want to add more details?
Just an important question to add this detail is, where are our horse Buggy and the dog that I don't think we named?
Ah, you have a horse and a buggy?
A horse named Buggy.
A horse named Buggy.
I don't think we named the dog.
Right. Well, these are good questions.
I'm pretty sure the dog is with me.
You can answer these questions yourselves.
I think, the horse is on the barge with us. Peleus sort of made a big fucking stink to say, no, Buggy is coming with us. He is useful and a friend.
Okay.
Also his dog. Dog is lovely.
As a heads up, Russell,
yes, sir.
The thing that let me see into the ethereal plane is my robe. And so basically I see invisible creatures and objects and into the ethereal plane out to about 120 feet.
Right.
While wearing the robe.
Okay. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And I'm looking for something specific. Here we go. All right, so just for your, well, mostly for my gratification, to be honest, here is a map. Did that pop?
Yep.
It certainly did.
You can see the map.
Yes.
Excellent. So you guys are coming down this way. Can you see my cursor?
No.
Oh, yep.
Oh, yes, I can.
You can.
Nice.
Yep. Okay, so you guys are coming down this way through here on this barge. And you go past these various islands. And as you're traveling to the south through the mist on this barge with several red guards, which I think I can close this map now, yeah? You've seen enough. You've seen too much. as you're heading down, you notice on one side at the beginning you've got huge walls on either side of you, and at the bottom of those walls is this kind of muddy bank, a few feet wide in places, and it sort of wiggles in and out to a sort of maximum width of about 15 feet. And along those walls, you see these odd statues, basically like bas relief statues carved in, so it appears, into the side of the walls. And on the beaches, not these sort of muddy banks at the base of the walls, little crumbled pieces of stone and flecks of white amongst the brown dark mud. And these bas relief figures look very realistic, actually. They sort of seem to take up a lot of the wall. They continue down in patches here and there. In other places, there's none at all. In some places, there's groups of them. All of them seem to be kind of active, doing stuff. Each figure is doing something, and they seem quite twisted and mad. And they all kind of give you this eerie sense of these figures were carved from images of people in pain in some description, in some way. As you move further down, you go past this huge guard tower on the right-hand side, and then the wall opens up and you see a little glimpse of some of a canal that goes off to the right, and you can see this island down there, and in the distance you can see the small figure standing on an island with a hoe, just hoeing their little patch of land. And there's a little shed or shack, should we say, there. And if you've got really good eyesight, you might make out a chicken. You continue past that entrance, and now on your left, there is another huge guard tower as you go past another island. And this guard tower is on the corner of where the giant wall basically comes to a sharp corner, and that's where the guard tower is, and it takes up the whole corner as well. And at the base of that guard tower, there's a set of stairs and an entrance and a gate and a small jetty with two other barges there, and you see some guards, much like the guards that are with you, in those on either side of that jetty, just standing like sentinels at this point. On the far side to your right, you think you can see some sort of movement among the mud along the bank on the other side. And I'm going to see if I can quickly find you something that I'd like to show you.
Eli, what do you think of the statues?
Good craftsmanship, but I find their placements quite strange on the inside of a prison.
Frightening? I feel like they're frightening.
Yeah, they veer quite close to frightening. Yes.
Good craftsmanship, odd depictions.
Moving on the shore on the far side, you notice two creatures that look like this, walking in the mud. They make this horrific noise as they kind of turn and see you as your boat kind of slides past. And one of them sort of starts waddling towards the boat, but gives up before you get to the corner. Oh, you don't see that. You definitely didn't see that. That was.
You feel like that is a murder chicken? I feel like that might be murder chicken.
Where did that character sheet come from? That was weird. How is it floating in the air?
It's just a little plaque, like a zoo.
It's like in Jumanji 2, and they like hit the thing, and it's like this thing.
Yes!
The character description of what it is.
That's amazing.
Right.
It's like someone cast identify and it just appeared.
Right. And the guards look to each other as you go past these creatures, and one of them says, "Don't be alarmed, you are out of range of the cockatrice. It is the basilisk you should be more wary of."
Well, gratefully, we did not see any on our journey.
As you get to the corner and begin your way around the corner, in the mud up ahead, you see something that looks more akin to this.
Well, if that was the murder chicken, this is the murder worm.
Oh, right.
I think it is closer to a hamster.
Yeah.
This thing
Still
is about
works.
the size of a horse, by the way.
That would definitely be the murder basilisk, I think.
One of the soldiers says to you, "If I was you, I would stay well outside of its gaze."
Doesn't
How
like
far-
looking at people.
The guard looks, they look at each other, and they look over at the figures of stone on the walls. And he says, "Do you see those?"
Yes.
Enough said. At this
That
point,
made those things.
you notice also on that
How does it have the
particular-
dexterity?
on that particular bank, you see that there are crumbled pieces of statues, broken limbs and things made of stone just laying in the mud too over there. They have magical gaze, my lady. A petrifying gaze, you might say.
Oh, so it just looks at things and then they make stuff for them.
Correct.
To what end does it consume the stone?
Who knows? Who knows?
I don't want to get stoned, so let's get out of here.
Right. Now, then you come up to the jetty up ahead, and the boat comes to rest at the side. And the guards say, this would be your stop then. You're heading south to Hemoth Tirith, yes?
I believe so.
Well, short of returning back to your homelands, one would hope you don't see the inside of this place again.
And no,
Certainly
it does not look pleasant.
Each of you can make a perception check.
Tasty 6.
Being smart, are we, Barry? Being smart, I see.
18.
14.
Wow, 24 from Seraphine. If only I knew which one of you that was.
I
Go.
rolled a 24.
You did? Okay, Barry, you roll a 10, unfortunately. Okay, so
Seraphine, it's not me.
let's see. Peleus, a 6.
Yep. I'm too busy trying to get Buggy off the barge. No, Buggy, this
Right.
way. You want to go back
Deatham-
inside. Come, Buggy.
Deatham Tregarthan, 824. Right. So you and Nyla and Seraphine. Who's Seraphine?
That's me.
That's you. You all notice. Oh, and Nyla. Okay, basically everyone except for Malachor, in fact. And it's a 14. How bad is a 14? Let me think about this. You notice them noticing something moving in the water. Like everyone's looking at the water for a moment as something large moves beneath the surface. And there's this flick, almost like a tentacle or a tail that cuts through the water and causes the top of the water to shimmer across the stream. The guards nervously get out of the boat, and they usher you up off the boat, along with your animals, etc. And they take you up into the garrison up there. Helicopter. I can read your chat, just so you know. I raise your helicopter a fridge.
There's a helicopter going over my house currently, which is why I'm not talking.
Ah, I see. I thought you
So
were
quick to violence, Russell.
I
So
know.
quick to threaten.
I was
I
just,
was going to make a joke about them having odd aquarium pets, but then the helicopter was really loud, so I just stopped talking.
right. Okay, so you come off, you go up into what is essentially this small garrison. There's some barracks there. There's some guard towers surrounded by a wall. It seems to be a conglomeration of, on the one hand, the ancient Ostorian wall that surrounds much of this location. Part of the goodness, interesting. Part of the original structure seems to have been built upon over the many years by other creatures, presumably elves. And so the barracks themselves are of elven construction and more recent, but still very old, as are the much smaller and more practical guard towers and still functional guard towers of the barracks and what have we, the garrison itself. Right. A soldier, the soldiers themselves, they introduce you to their superior officer almost immediately as you get off the boat. And this guard with this red plumed helmet comes over to you and he says, "Who are these people?" And the guard turns and he says, "I shall let them speak for themselves, my lord." And he turns to you. Who among you speaks for the group?
I come from the Ice Queen, as does my companions. We have gifts for your king.
He looks you over. Ice Queen? Who is this Ice Queen? We know of no such creature.
That would be the Winter Queen, more.
The Winter Queen. Apparently, she is not known well here.
He looks at you skeptically.
I wouldn't tell her that. I feel like she'd be very insulted.
Why is it that you come through Highbrook Pass? Why do you traverse these mountains, and why come through the sufferance of all places?
Because there was a portal.
As she said, this is where the portal landed us in this vicinity.
I know nothing of these portals, but I shall take you at your word. We shall provide you an escort to the Palace of the Stars.
That would be good. I thank you very much.
Very well. So at that point, you find yourselves given a guard of about 8 soldiers. They each have horses. Did you say you had a horse?
Yeah, we got one, just buggy.
All right.
We also have a dog, which I don't remember the name of, but I probably asked him his name because I had Speak with Animals on before.
That is a very important detail that we forgot.
Wait. Okay, so you are at that point under guard, taken down the Sufferance Path, which is the road that leads down around the Sufferance, down and across a large ancient bridge, looking down across the Lockhart Valley from here. And as you get to that bridge for the first time, the mist begins to clear, and you see clearly in daylight down through the Lockhart Valley over the top of Hemeth Tirith, the capital city of the elves. You could see its towers from above, and you can see the palace itself, and you can see the Highbrook stream pouring down to the palace, running along this kind of flat structure that's built above the rest of the city, with towers on the front of it, and then there's a waterfall that pours off the front of that. You're coming at it from behind, so you can't really see where the waterfall lands at this point. Further in the distance, down in the valley, even with the mist still clearing, you can make out these 3 enormous silhouettes of trees that rise up out of the forest and the base of the valley, almost as high as where you are. These enormous trees, clustered together in a group. And you can see the glistening of a lake in the distance beyond, far out on the edge of the horizon. And you can just make out a castle at the far end of that lake, you believe. In any case, you head down and they take you down to Highbrook itself, and you enter from the west gate. And then you are led up through the city and past various guards. You're seeing this is a full-blown high elven city. And it's very much alive. There's lots of people doing things. You go past the North Wall district, where there's a whole bunch of forges and including a bunch of dwarves, actually, who Adric knows quite well. And then you're led up some stairs, the sort of zigzagging path that takes you up to the palace district, the palatial district, higher up. Whereupon you arrive at this great giant gate. The guards open the gate, and various courtesans can be seen in the distance, mingling upon a lawn in the distance. And on the other side, far out to the right, you see a cohort of guards with horses doing drills with on horseback, and some other guards with pikes doing more drills. They've all got very fancy uniforms. They look similar to the guards that are bringing you, except the difference is these guards have red uniforms, those guards have black uniforms. And then there's another set of guards with black and gold uniforms, who later you will discover are the palace guards. And there's banners and what have you. And eventually they take you up to the court itself, where you come upon a fellow by the name of, you have to forgive me a second here.
What's our queen's name again?
Morg. Morb.
Excuse me, guard. Can you tell us what year it is?
He says he does. Now we'll answer that question in due course. Out of game, for the sake of clarity, I wanted to set this game in an make it as unpinned down as possible, so that we have the ability to shift it around in terms of its time scale in relation to the rest of the story, depending on how it ends.
Seraphine's just trying to figure out how much time has passed since she was here last.
Right. Okay. So based on that, you could say, did we have a decision on that previously?
I think it was roughly 100 years since she'd been there last, but
right, that makes sense.
Portal astralness. Yep.
Barry, what were you going to say?
Just to be clear, so I don't make a complete idiot of myself, because I had a late night last night. She's the Snow Queen?
The Winter Queen.
Winter Queen, sorry. I'm having one of those days today.
Yep. The Winter Court, the Winter Queen. Or the Queen of the Winter Court.
Treasured guard, Barry.
Right. Incidentally, which among you is bearing the gifts that you have been given to take to her?
I think we put them on buggy.
Okay, so they're on the horse. All right.
I love just the horse being the butt of every joke. Just the horse. Never mind the horse.
Yes.
The best part of having a horse, you get to use horsed as a joke.
Hold on.
Almost as good as Archibald.
I do
Why the
love
long
Archibald.
face? I'm a horse.
Why the long face?
To this day, I think Archibald was the best joke I made on this show.
Because this is a comedy show, Michael, and that's what it's for.
I'm a clown. Every stage is for laughs.
Right.
I wholeheartedly agree.
I have many fridges lined up for all of you. Okay.
That's all right. I've got a helicopter.
You'll be helicoptering. Okay, so who knows? Did I tell you guys anything about what was in your list of gifts for the king?
I don't believe so. I need to check my notes. There's been many notes since.
Yeah, I'm searching.
I think it was in a chest and we were told not to look in it, right?
Yeah, I think it was just a gift that we were supposed to deliver and we didn't actually know what it was. We're just like, okay.
Right. Well, what you will know is that the Winter Queen has told you that what is in here is extraordinarily precious to her. And, you know, you have the impression that she, in fact, can you all make an insight check? Makes more sense to me. Start there.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about it. We just got to deliver it. Yeah.
Right.
I do not know anything.
The natural ones are coming in strong.
Holy crap.
Not quite, but close enough.
I will say we've also got we do have a chest of Electrum coins of 575 Electrum coins.
Right. And was that to be delivered or is that yours personally?
We found that in when we
That's right.
did the thing to the orcs. I'm like, no, I guess this is ours now.
We're just like, yoink,
Right.
along with Buggy and the dog.
Right. And what you will have noticed on the Electrum coins is that they bear the mark of King Ivran Erathani, and they commemorate his inaugural passage into kingship. They will also give you the date, or an idea for a date at least. Right. You'll notice that they were all minted at once. And they're very, very shiny and light. Obviously, Electrum. Okay, so out of the group, you all rolled abysmal insight checks, shockingly. Nyla, you rolled the highest with a 12. So
I rolled an 8, not a 12.
Well, an 8?
I accidentally hit spacebar to try and talk on the stream, but it rolled the dice again. So it's an 8, not a 12.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, you all rolled very pitifully and know nothing. Why don't you just make my life difficult?
Hey, you can honor the 12 if you want, but I'm just trying to be honest.
The 12 wasn't going to help that much, to be fair. Okay, so you are led into the court itself, and where's the document I need? It's not even there. That doesn't help me at all.
Max, what's the name of your character?
Malika.
Melika. I think you should talk to the king. You have better understanding of such political things than I do.
Very well, I should try my best.
Okay. So you were introduced to a fellow in a waiting room named. The soldier says, "I would like to introduce you to Ballard Gideon Ariasis. This fellow is the steward of the palace."
You were so close to Bellend and you didn't do it.
Bellend. No. I do have a. Never mind. I'm not going to go there right now. Too many things to juggle right now. Ballad Gideon Ariasis, steward of the Palace of the Stars. The fact that it's the Palace of the Stars may interest Nyla in some capacity.
Palace of Stars.
Yes, this is the Palace of the Stars, says Ballad. Welcome. I understand you have made some sort of journey. Mention of a portal has been had.
This is true. Do you have any food?
He looks at you and he looks over to the servants. He says, bring these people some food. And the servants go off to achieve these ends. And before they return, a troop of black-clad guards come marching into this high-arched room that you're in presently through one of the side doors and surround you with pikes in a phalanx on either side of you. And one of them comes forward.
Not quite the welcome I thought we were going to get, but hello.
Hand is slowly going towards crossbow.
The main one of these knights steps forward. He says, or she says, I am Elanus Fayan Erwin Dreyer of the Black Guard, Captain and Archon. She says, stand down. We should like you to put all your possessions on the table to your right.
That makes no sense. We are guests. Why would we need to put all of our things on table?
You are not our guests just yet, not until you pass our security protocols. We have no idea who you are. You claim to have been sent by some winter queen, come from some portal. You could as easily be assassins sent by the Morg Van Chu or the Angor Ma'ak or any number of our enemies. How will you prove your value, your worth, your word?
Does one of you know how to do a truth circle?
Oh, yes. That will come next.
Why don't you do it now and save us all a lot of trouble?
Put your belongings on the table, please.
Varel, what do you think?
This is not a negotiation.
We will get some back.
Assuming you are who you say you are.
We have nothing to fear. Obey them for now. And Pelias walks forward, pats Nyla on the shoulder, and then takes off his shield, puts his axe down on it, and I think he's going to forget to take his pipes off him.
Pipes?
Yeah, one of the items that I got was my pipes of haunting. I don't think he would consider them to be a weapon.
Okay. What do they do?
1 moment. Proficient with wind instruments, I am. 3 charges. If I use them, every creature within 30 feet of me must make a DC 15 wisdom saving throw, become frightened of me for 1 minute.
See. Okay.
So he wouldn't consider that to be a weapon because it just pipes to him.
All right.
Death Arm's going to just be pulling daggers out of like boots and inside his coat and like just piling them on the table. And he'll pull out the dagger of warning and just make sure that we're not in trouble before he puts it down.
Right.
This is my favorite trope, just when a character pulls out an unnecessarily amount of daggers and weapons from like everywhere. And you're just like, how does that work?
He's just got daggers everywhere.
Every item of clothing and garment and orifice.
Yeah.
Where did you get that Morningstar?
Yeah, I was hiding it.
You don't want to know.
Yeah.
I'll hand over my robe, but I'll keep my guardian emblem, which is essentially my holy symbol, on my person.
Russell,
yes.
Have we come here before to do this?
Not you.
Do I know if this is the tradition that was?
You don't know.
Don't know. Okay, I'm just being sure.
This is the. You can see this is the act of a paranoid king, who is perhaps in conflict with other nations. This is not the peaceful world you were expecting already. You can see that.
Okay, all right.
So things have clearly changed according to your idea of what the landscape was supposed to look like. It's already a bit different. Around about this point, a man in a black robe with a hood covering his face comes in with his much younger elven assistant, a fair-headed man, a fair-headed young elven boy, in fact, barely a man. And he steps forward and he says, he pulls back his hood, and he says, "Greetings, I am Alar."
Greetings, Lord Ella.
He says, "I should like to speak with who among you is the leader here, if any."
That would be myself.
You have a name, sir?
Madam.
I've forgotten his ruddy name. What is it?
Ivariel.
Are you playing a woman?
No, I'm
Max is playing a woman.
My name is Ivariel.
I see. So out of game for everybody's benefit, Barry's character Ivariel is this blonde, basically Dracula with blonde hair.
Every Dracula I've ever seen in media recently.
You could say that, but this character's concept was invented in the 90s. God damn it! Before that nonsense was ever thought up. In any case, all right. What am I looking at, Caitlin? These are your notes, your growing notes. I see.
It's a list of everybody's characters and their names.
Okay, cool. In any case, Isla, who some of you are more or less familiar with from some other stories, he says, "So you are Ivariel, yes?" He says, "Make a note of that, Hamil." And Hamil writes down a note. He's got his pad there. He's similar to Caitlin right now, jotting down things.
It is as I have said, my lord.
And who sent you once more?
The Winter Queen. I come from her court.
You come from her court, the court of the Winter Queen. There is precedence for this, my lord, he says, turning to the Black Guard leader. It is possible that they speak the truth. Let us be certain then, he says. You will all forgive our means, but we live in uncertain and troubling times. I am about to cast a spell that will ascertain your truthfulness or not. You should fear nothing if you are indeed who you say you are. He looks at each of you in turn. Can I make a insight check on each of you?
Yes.
You're asking for consent on an insight check on each of us?
I am.
Oh.
I am. So I'm going to start with you, Steve, because I feel like it. I'm the one making the insight checks.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So on Steve, he gets a 15. Does your attitude tell him anything? What can he gather from your state of being?
Death Arm has nothing to hide, and he's very much loyal to Barry's character.
Right. Okay. 23 on Joanna.
He's doing his mind ready thing, is he?
Something to that effect.
Because of course Seraphine's got her ring of what's it on her, so I'm not sure. She wasn't sure if she should take off her jewelry or not.
That's up to you. What did you do?
Ring of mind shielding.
What did you do? Did you leave it on, or did you take it?
I left it on, I think.
Okay, so what's the ring of mind shielding pop up and say when you click on it?
While wearing this ring, you are immune to magic that allows other creatures to read your thoughts, determine whether you are lying, know your alignment, or know your creature type. Creatures can telepathically communicate with you only if you allow it. You can use an action to cause the ring to become invisible until you use another action to make it visible.
Right, so is the ring invisible?
Is the ring invisible?
The idea being that, you don't want your enemies to know that you're wearing a ring of mind shielding.
Yeah, let's say it is, if I'm allowed to.
Yep, of course. Okay. So based on that, just from your facial expressions and your body language, what can he tell about you?
Probably that Seraphine is uneasy with the reception. Not what she was expecting.
All right, fair enough. So a little bit surprised and a little bit put out, perhaps. But she's hiding that. She's controlling it. All right, Max. So I rolled a natural 1 for you. So what do you think what is Aylar getting from your body language that he's misconstruing entirely in reverse? Or overreading or something?
I think maybe
Russell.
just not getting anything.
Nothing?
It's just this blank, like looking at an ice sculpture. It's just, there's just nothing there. I look empty.
So that concerns him, I think. Okay. Michael Bates. 18.
18. So looking at Polias's body language, he'd to an outward person that doesn't know Polias and doesn't know what to look for, he would look like he's quite at ease, standing quite relaxed. But to someone that knows animal behavior and their body language, he has his jaw down, covering his neck, but his eyes up, watching everything. His body language his stance is quite wide, his palms are open, and he's kind of centered himself between Nyla and Seraphine. He's ready for if anything should happen.
Right. So he's not attacking, but he's ready to defend himself and to defend those that he loves.
Yeah. If he had a tail, it would be lashing about now.
Right.
Quite agitatedly.
Okay. All right. Barry, he gets 5, 6, 7, 8.
All right. He's calm.
So you don't have to tell me anything really, because it's not even a success, but
Okay.
you can tell him what he could naturally tell without rolling.
He's calm. He's collective. And if anything goes wrong, he'll kill the person in front of him first.
Okay. Caitlin, 15.
Nyla is very reluctant to let go of her staff, but she is at ease and isn't quite worried, but is a little bit taken aback by the treatment that they've been given.
Right. Do any of you have any sort of equivalent of heightened senses or special hearing or anything like that? I'm not assuming that you do, but I'm just asking.
I would have with my robe, but I handed that over.
As a barbarian, I have this thing called Danger Sense, which just gives me an advantage on dex saving throws. I don't know if that applies to this, just thematically.
Okay.
As a racial trait, we have keen senses. We're proficient in perception skills. We can see in the darkness. We had advantage on saves without being charmed, and magic can't put us to sleep. I also have the feet alert, which means I can't not be surprised.
Okay, that's good to know. All right, I'll just get you each to make perception checks then. Yep.
5+5 to initiative, and other creatures don't gain advantage on attack rolls against you as a result of being unseen.
Wow, very nice. Okay. All right, so just perception checks from everyone.
I rolled a 12.
A 12. Peleus rolled a 13. Nyla rolled a 13.
All my rolls is bollocks today.
Evran rolled a 18. Ivariel, I mean, not Evran. King Evran, quite different person.
This is a bit of a I have a bit of a like rulesy kind of question about this. What would you place the difference like on a roll? How does passive perception affect a roll?
Passive perception is when you're not actively trying to look at something.
Yeah.
A perception check is when I want to give you an opportunity to notice something that's above your passive perception.
Right. Yep.
So if your passive perception is not necessarily high enough to notice something, you still get to make a roll. Whereas if
well, in that case,
yeah,
my passive perception is 16. So
okay.
I noticed quite a bit, mate.
You do notice quite a bit.
Yeah, my passive perception is also 17.
Wow.
Fucking on, mate.
Right. Well, that's good to know. Okay, so let's consider this passive perception. So for Ivariel, it's 14, but you rolled an 18. For Malachor, your passive perception is in a different place. Oh, here it is. 15. Yeah. And what did you roll?
22.
Wow. Okay. Cool. In fact, you're the one I'm going to give this to because that's far and away the best.
Oh, Sarah also got 22.
You're right. Okay. So both of you guys notice that Ilar seems to cast another spell, or he casts some form of spell on himself, and he touches his eyes like this as he does so. And when he takes his hand away, for a moment, there's this sort of slight sparkle of arcana there in the reflections of his eyes. And he looks at all of the things that you've placed on the table, and he turns to the Black Knight, the Black Guard, and he nods, and he begins to point to the objects on the table that are in fact magical. You can make insight, arcana checks. Seraphim and Malachor.
Arcana.
This is basically to figure out that he has literally just cast detect magic, and that's how he's doing this and what he's doing.
I think I got a 6.
You got a 6.
Yep.
Okay. You might not conclude
21.
this. Okay, well, Seraphim, you probably conclude that he's casting some form of detect magic on the objects on the table. He's not speaking about it, he's just pointing to the objects. And the magical items are being sorted from the non-magical items. Now, whereabouts, do you guys have a bag of holding that has the chest and the gifts in it? Is that what I recall?
It would have been on the horse, but I feel like Elias might have taken it from the horse if the horse is still outside.
Yeah, I probably would have just taken it and brought it inside with us then.
Okay, so the bag, have you handed the bag over? Is the bag on the table?
No, I've kept the bag of gifts with us because they asked for our weapons.
They asked for all your belongings.
These aren't ours. And that would be Polias's logic. These aren't ours to give to them. These are ours to give to the king. They don't belong to us.
All right. At which point, yep.
Just a question. So if we have magical armor on, have we had to take off our armor as well? Or is
not yet. Not yet. That's coming up now.
I'm still holding on to my staff, by the way. I haven't put it down.
Right. Ilar turns to the group now and he looks you all up and down and he says, and he points to the staff. He says something to the knight, to the soldier. You hear something about the staff. he points to, I was going to say Goodale, Seraphane's armor, and he nods to the knight. And any other magic items that you might have, he's pretty much going to immediately identify them as saying, there's something here. Do you have the bag inside something, or hidden behind something, or under some clothes, or anything like that?
No, it's just there. It's just there in front of me. I'm not trying to hide it.
Right.
But I didn't think to give it to them because reasons.
At this stage, we don't know about the ban on magic items, do we?
But we don't know that. Yeah.
You don't know anything about that, no. Okay. Ayla says, you're carrying a lot of magical equipment with you. It does lend credence to your story, I must admit. I will be relaying this information to our king, and he will make a decision as to whether he wishes to meet you in person. In the meantime, I would like to know more about what it is that you are carrying. And he turns to you, Pelias. What is this?
You mean my pipes?
Your pipes and this here, whatever this is.
The pipes, they are simply pipes. They also allow me to, if we are ambushing or under duress, I can play it and cause what is causing us distress to become afraid, as they should be. The bag, I do not know what it is inside. The Winter Queen gave to us and gave us strict instructions to not look within. It is your king's gifts.
I see. Very well. If you will wait here for a few minutes, I will return. And he says to the soldier, well, the soldier says, what about her armor, sir? He says, it is not a concern. They have little else of concern. He looks at you, Nyla, and he looks at your staff. He says, what is this?
It was entrusted to me, and I don't feel it's wise to put it down.
Very well. For now, please understand that if the king requests it, there may be the possibility that you will need to meet with him without it. I, however, will take good care of it on your behalf.
I would prefer it not leave my sight, but that is okay.
I will even hold it for you in the presence of the king, if that makes you feel more secure.
Yes, that would be fine.
Very well. For now, you can continue to maintain it until I return. Give these people some space, please. We shall leave you here in your own space here in this room for a few minutes whilst I consult with King Ivran. I shall be back immediately. And the knights all march out. You have the impression that they're just outside the door, though, to be fair. Everything goes quiet as the doors are shut, and you get the impression you're being locked into this room.
So that was a good start we are in.
Not exactly a warm welcome.
No. But
Hospitality is a word they somehow do not seem to know.
It's very strange. They are sorting magic items, using magic, and not happy about the magic items.
As long as they don't take them away, it should be okay.
Do not talk too much. The little that is said in this room, the little they will know.
well, that is a fair opinion. Fair. It is good I do not know. And Peleus is going to raise his voice a little bit. That Buggy is the most dangerous member of our party, and leaving him outside was a grave error. Oh, that horse could bring ruin to a city twice this size with its mighty hooves.
Nyla is inconsolably laughing. And it's just like, yes, brother, I like where your head is at.
If one were to be trampled by such a beast, they would be shunted straight to hells. All 9 of them.
I mean, it's just a horse, mate.
Ah,
It is magic horse. You should know this
Malika
by now.
just kind of
my friend, that is what Buggy wants you to believe. Here's an archon of the end time.
Be right back. I'm going to powder my nose.
The horse is the horse is the most important member of our party, and it is very sad to leave him outside.
If this
Well,
is fair.
Yeah, I definitely agree. He's pretty important, but vital to the party. But I don't really see how he's like any more important than like any of the rest of us, mate. You know, he's
He
just
carry-
like, he's
Well, one could say he carries us, truly.
He truly carries the team. He is a garrison to himself.
Has,
yeah.
has anybody got paper and scribe?
Now that you mention it, no.
I don't think so. I don't really carry paper.
sorry, I do not have that.
If you were to simply take a sharp implement, perhaps rip a leg off the table, you could scratch it into the walls. I'm sure they will fix it later.
You are all so amusing.
Well, we've nothing to amuse ourselves with. So I suppose I could play my pipes.
Mess.
There are Christians. Is there parchment in this room anywhere?
Yes, there is.
I will go and get it
Mhm.
and write down for them. Can we all teleport? That thing where they jump
Face
from-
step.
Yeah, can we all face step?
Yes, it is a racial trait.
And out of
Yes.
game, you would know this already. You would know
Okay,
whether or not
okay,
you
sorry.
wouldn't have to
So I
write that
don't
down.
do that. I don't do that. I just I write down we may have to use face step in this place, but save it for a good moment. And then I
Right. Very good. After a long, probably quarter of an hour passes, the doors open up and some servants come in bearing an amphora and a platter of glasses or goblets, more to the point, and lay them out on a table and pour you each a drink if you wish. It does smell like very fine elven wine to you.
Can I inspect the wine?
You can inspect the wine. You can make an investigation check if you like.
Seven.
You don't think it's as good as the stuff that you would get in the Feywild.
The tannins are not as delicate as in Feywild, but otherwise quite nice.
And do you try it?
Peleus is ready in.
It's very good. It's very
Yeah, I
good.
try
It's expensive elven wine, high elven wine from this region. It has a blueberry tint and it would be the sort of thing that would have had to have been made from grapes that had been picked during the frost season, which must have been a conscious decision on somebody's part.
Hints of
terms of it being
blueberry
served to you.
and frostbite and argyle. Not quite sure why that's in there, but sure.
Right. After a few minutes, Alar comes back in with his assistant Hamil, and some of the guards are just waiting outside the door. He says, Lord Ivran is preparing to meet with you now. He is concerned about your magical apparatus and your true motives, but has nonetheless decided that he will see you himself. So if you will prepare yourselves to meet His Excellency in just a few minutes.
Surely we can just give him the gift and leave if our magical items are of offense to him.
I believe the king should like to entertain you if you are here and you are who you say you are.
You know we are who we say we are.
So it seems, yes. And after another couple of minutes, you are escorted down a passageway to a large megaron. At one side of the megaron, the wall itself is the wall. You come in from the side, and let's say you're coming in from the west side. The north end is the end with the throne. The south end is open, and there's literally a waterfall pouring over and past that entrance, and the light is coming through, glistening through the water of the waterfall. There's also doors on the other side of the megaron. So you come in from the side and then turn left and go down this wide velvet carpet past various pillars and soldiers towards the throne itself. And on the throne, you see there's this elven king bearing a crown. Next to him, various advisors. Some of them are in armor. Some of them look like black guards. One of them is wearing a red uniform, and it is a woman with beautiful platinum hair, long platinum hair, and she wears a brooch that appears to be that of a silver dragon. Michael, stop pulling faces.
I'm happy. I like Alanis. I think she's cool.
Aylar takes up his place. Various others are there. There is this very old-looking elf with long blonde hair, who, out of game in the previous Vane Gate story, was sitting next to Edrin at a table not so long ago. Who had a habit of clasping onto his arm. This fellow is there too, standing nearby the king. And there is a phalanx of guards on either side of the room. And you are bid to approach by the king. He just ushers you forward. Do you all move together as a group?
I'll follow Ivralail's lead.
Yeah, following his lead and staying close to Pelias and Seraphine.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll move up, go to one knee.
King
Now
observes you all. You
stand
notice
up.
He seems to be. Can you each make an insight check?
Hell yeah.
Everyone?
Yep.
Ugh, I miss Adric's advantage to an insight checks, man.
11.
9 for Peleus. Malachor, 11. 8 for Nyla. 23. Wow. Okay, so Seraphine, you seem to be the only one here that notices there is this sort of strange shadow about this king. He has this somewhat pained sense to him. When he stands, he leans upon the side of the throne for a moment as he stands. He seems something sickly about him. Only you notice this. He's very good at hiding it for the most part. And he stands up, he says, I am King Ivran Erethanai. You are welcome to Hemeth Tirith. You have been sent here, I am told, by my advisor, Alar, by the Winter Queen. Is this all true?
Malika will look at Ivrilael, nod, step forward, and say, yes, that is true.
And how is the Winter Queen?
As firm in her rule as ever.
I see. And I'm told that you have brought something from her on her behalf. Is this true?
Yes, and I gesture to Peleus.
And I'm going to, with a gesture, stand up and walk forward with the sack full of gifts. Is it a chest or a sack?
It's a bag of holding.
Yeah, I come forward with the bag of holding, and
So
I'll
it's
place it.
just a small bag, actually.
That's-
And when you open it, there you see there's various things inside it. You can see a chest inside it.
Going to reach in and
you can't
pull out the.
You know what? I'm going to retrofit something here, which fortunately we're not on stream. Yeah, I can do shit like this. Because of the rules about bags of holding in this world and in this game, you have been given the names of the things inside this bag, and you've been made the keeper of it. Does that sound reasonable?
Yep.
So what you know is inside it is there's this chest, which contains jewels from the Winter Queen. So chest of jewels. There is a fey-clad iron cloth scarf.
That's a badass gift.
A ironclad scarf? What?
Fey-clad
Big-
iron cloth
Mm.
scarf.
It's like steel wool, but iron.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You can use it to scrub your toilet.
So interesting that that's the first thing that pops into your mind, Russell.
Yeah. Actually, what it is, it's a silken scarf that looks like the softest thing in the world, but it gives you +2 to armor class.
Mm.
Cool. Very cool.
That's dope.
There is a small bottle of what you believe is to be called star dew. There is a fairy crown, which, when you summon it forth from the bag, turns out to be a wreath of very common-looking garden flowers. Beautiful, but quite whimsical.
And like as you're telling me these, I'm pulling them out and naming them and placing them on, next to it in a line together.
I should say that they bring forth some sort of small table, like a trestle table in front of you, and set it up in front of you so that you can do this.
Yeah.
So you're laying these things out. Next is a crystal shoe stone of the Winter Night. Shoe being spelled S-H-E-W, shoe stone. And last but not least, there is a thing that's been given the name Mirror of the Past.
Yeah. Oh, and it's all laid out now.
All right. And Ivran says to you, and tell me, what do you know of these things? Surely the Winter Queen did not just send these objects and expect me to ascertain their meaning and bearing upon our relationship of our two.
I believe the instructions will be in the box.
You say that?
Yes.
He looks at you somewhat dismissively.
Malika will give her a cold little bit of a stare as she looks back. A little bit of a stare, looks forward. The scarf is a soft, stylish, but is also protective.
I see.
I don't know about the rest, in all honesty, but
Fair
if
enough.
Malika does, sweet.
Okay,
she'll lay it all out.
All right. So what you know about these things? So obviously, the scarf is soft, but yet impossible to cut, and it gives you a +2 armor class. The bottle of Stardew you can use as a kind of oil that you can anoint yourself with or anoint others with that will assist in trance and help you with having visions or dreams. The fairy crown is just a whimsical gift from the Winter Queen. There's nothing to that. It's just a bunch of flowers made into a wreath that she made herself in her spare time. The crystal shoe stone of the Winter Knight is a scrying stone that will allow him to be able to see any part of his kingdom at any time that he's been there. He will be able to essentially view places and locations or search for individuals using that. And the mirror is a small hand mirror, and by holding it up and looking into it, he can essentially see into the past with it. It's that simple. Like if you walk into a room and you want to investigate a room or something, you could walk into the room and look around with this and see what has happened here in the past. It's up to the mirror what it shows you, but whatever spirit or intelligence or arcane spirit or intelligence controls the mirror, that will show you the details of what's happening or has happened here.
I will convey that.
Right. Very good. He says, all very interesting. Interesting, he nods. And how long do you intend to stay here in Citadel?
I look at Ivrilel and I say, I think as long as we deem that we have completed our mission for the Queen. Hopefully not too long. I am already starting to miss my home.
I see. Then I shall send a emissary back with you with gifts of my own. You will forgive me. I was obviously not aware that you were coming, so I will need time. Perhaps 24 hours or so to compile something of similar nature to be returned unto your Winter Queen. If you would be my honored guests in the meantime. Turns to Isla, he says, make sure these individuals are well kept and have somewhere to sleep and stay, and show them our hospitality. Of course, my lord, says Isla.
We also found a large coffer of your treasure specifically minted, I think, in your likeness, that we had found in the possession of Orcs.
He looks at you for a long moment. He turns, he says, Ilandor, perhaps you will deal with this. Perhaps not presently. Ilandor looks you over and nods back to the king. It shall be considered, thank you. Do you have this treasure here now?
Do we have it with us? Yes.
I think we would have brought it with us.
Yes, and we'll bring it forward.
Very well. The king says, Alar, if you would take these items, these gifts, and place them in the, you know what to do. And Alar collects them up, and you have the bag of holding still there. Do you give that to them as well, or do you keep the bag?
I think I'd keep the bag unless I was instructed to do otherwise.
All right. Okay, so Alar has them boxed up and taken away. He just gives some instructions, simple instructions to some servants who come and do that. And You hear something about Ayla's rectory.
Ella's rectum.
I heard that. I heard that.
That's another fridge for you, Caitlin. I'm keeping track of the fridges. They weigh heavily upon your soul.
Sounds
Alright.
cool.
All right. At which point Ayla takes you guys out and takes you to some rooms where you may stay, and you are given space to yourselves. You know that you're under guard, though. It's not kind of pushed on in your face, but you can kind of tell.
Seraphine,
Yeah, sorry, Goja.
Seraphine requests a bath be drawn in her quarters.
Very well. They bring you a bathtub. Servants bring it. They carry it in, and they bring pail after pail of boiling hot water, and they fill it for you. And they bring a large container of rose petals and what have you, and they make it available.
And then she takes off her armor and gets into the bath and is like, oh, thank God. It's getting a bit squishy in there.
Nyla's definitely gonna come in and be like, oh, bath time.
One of the servants actually says, you are aware that there is a bathhouse available.
Oh, and are we able to leave and go to the bathhouse?
I can speak to someone and see if I can make that happen.
Feel like that would be a better idea because there is not much room in this tub.
Right.
Are you already in the tub?
Yeah, she's like kicking Seraphine like over a little bit.
Right. Sisters in the tub. Goodness. Okay, then. All right. Servant goes off and tries to organize a trip to the bathhouse. All right. That'll be in a few minutes. Do you guys have anything you want to say to each other now that you have some privacy?
We have no weapons, do we, Russell?
You actually do have your things returned to you once you come back to your room.
Ah, good. Okay, I'm putting them back on.
All right. Very good. You do that.
Is there something you want to tell me?
I was going to say, I think maybe Nyla needs to roll an insight check or a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're starkers in the tub.
Right. Fair enough.
Do you want insight or perception?
I don't know.
They both have the same modifier, so it should be fine.
Shouldn't matter then.
Yeah, I don't think that Seraphine's hiding anything from Nyla now.
It's 21. I rolled 21 twice, which is great.
Wow. Okay.
Just for fun, I'll roll a deception check just to see if
you can beat that.
Max.
Oh,
22.
I saw that coming from a mile away.
Wow. She actually
I saw the
outrolled you.
+2 modifier and was like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Wow. That was a natural 20.
Max.
So Seraphine,
yes,
you can make her think
with
anything
all
you
the
want.
petals and maybe it's a bubble bath as well.
Yep. Sure.
I feel like you might need to go on diet, Sarah. You're getting a little budgy.
My character comes up to you and says, I think we should leave this place as soon as possible.
Are you also in the bathroom?
No, he's speaking to Max's character in a different room.
Okay. It's a bit crowded in this tub.
I agree. We need to talk to Seraphine to see about the portals, but I think it would be I think the Winter Queen would very much like a response from this strange king.
Now listen to me. And he looks at you with those blue eyes of ice and he goes, if anything should happen and I do not make it, it means you will take charge and you will get them all home. Do you understand?
Do you understand?
Malika just looks at Death Arm and just gives him like the same look Ivrilael's giving her. Turns back to Ivrilael. Of course.
Now, can you get those two out of the bathroom and tell them to get their act together? Or I will get it together for them.
Of course. I give him a curt nod. I go over to the door.
Hello? I can't remember how to do the accent.
What do you want?
It's just me. Ivrilael would like you to wrap up as soon as you're ready. I think so. We're as prepared for anything as possible.
Okay, but it's really nice in here. It's nice warm water.
There's
Oh,
bathroom.
motor, you say?
Yes, and rose petals.
Oh, I will come bath. Oh, you're naked! No!
Brother, how do you think we bath? You don't
did
know
not
wear
think.
clothes. You did not think
Alec
little brother.
is really trying to hold in a laugh, like really trying to be like, this isn't funny, and it's just kind of cracking a little bit.
Why did no one warn me?
Nyla is going.
Oh,
So what did you?
I think you muted yourself, Nyla.
Seraphine, you made a deception check, right? And you beat out Nyla's insight check. So the result of that was really nothing, wasn't it? That there was nothing to be had from that.
No.
Okay, just checking.
Nyla is going to throw some of the water at Malika. I was seeing if I had any water-related spells that I don't.
Fair enough.
I think the closest one I have is frostbite, but I feel like that's a little bit too much. So just like she just splashes water at Malika.
Okay.
Get out!
All right. So what do you guys do next? You eventually after your bath you get dressed, I assume. Do you don your armor, or you're sort of just more casual because you're in the palace?
I don my armor.
Okay. All right. Eventually, some afternoon snacks arrive on platters with some servants. You're not meant to eat the servants, just the snacks. And they lay them out for you.
Hey, this is a strange land. We might be required to eat the servants.
That's true. You could be required to eat the servants.
I feel like that would be a very nice show to see you try and eat servants. Don't think they would fit, but I feel like these are nice snacks. And she's gonna start eating.
There is a knock at your door after a few
Who
minutes.
likes me?
Whilst you're in the middle of eating, you have a visitor at the door.
I will get it. Pelias gets up and goes and opens the door. How may I help you?
It's the fellow you met before, Ayla.
Oh, there. Come in. Everyone is out of the bath.
Excellent, thank you. And he comes into your chambers, and he looks around. Is everything to your liking?
It is more comfortable than my previous lodgings. Yes.
That is good. That is good. The king is considering all the things that you have told him and appreciates your gifts. He says, I believe he is going to ask you for another audience this evening, tonight. He may have more questions. I thought that you would best be forewarned.
Question,
Certainly.
does this count as a long or short rest?
This can be a short rest.
Hell yeah.
Questions about what, my lord?
Well, I'm sure he will ask you about your homelands, your lineages, your families.
And will there be time for some sightseeing. I heard there are some bathhouses.
Yes, we do have bathhouses here indeed, of course, if you wish to see those. Sightseeing, curiously enough, came up in my conversation, so to speak, with His Eminence. He has suggested that upon the morrow you are to be taken and shown about the countryside, given a first-person perspective on the state of the nation.
Will we be accompanied, my lord?
Of course, of course.
By you, my lord?
Myself included, yes.
And the Black God, I presume.
Of course, you will be required to have protection, yes. There are some dangerous villains known to inhabit the woods nearby the valley, Lockhart Valley, and near the lake, and we must be cautious.
I understand.
As difficult to believe as it is, there are those that do not like our present king.
I'm glad he's not reading my mind, is he?
What reason would they have not to?
Yeah, no reason to not like the king.
He doesn't really answer the question at all. So perhaps you can tell me. I am personally curious to know more about the Feywild and your homelands. After all, our kin did come through the Feywild to Citadel many aeons ago.
What would you like to know?
Oh, perhaps what is it like there?
Cold.
Cold? I suppose that does make sense. You speak of the Winter Queen. But what of the Summer Court?
I haven't really spent much time in Summer Court, to be fair.
It is a warm area. The frigid colds and the blues and the silvers of our home are replaced by the oranges, the bright colors, streams flowing and children laughing.
So out of game, the Summer Court has been defunct for 1,000 years.
I don't know shit, clearly.
That's okay.
The Winter Queen currently rules over the Feywild, so
right.
We don't know shit about any other court because
that's right.
They're all in hiding.
The Summer Court has been beaten into submission by the looks of things.
My
Nobody speaks of it.
My friend, and I say that loosely, is joking with you, my lord. There is nothing but cold where we come from at this time.
How interesting. I was led to believe that the Feywild was a place of laughter and joy, passion, delight.
Maybe 4,000 years ago.
I see.
But it has still got joy and laughter and lights and all that, just very cold. It is kind of like big icy block, but with really nice winter streams. We do ice skating and we do snow elves and we do little round hags.
What she is trying to say is everything is to do with the cold, my lord.
I have that impression, yes.
Oh, and there's a really nice drink called hot mead, and it is malt wine and honey, and it is really nice, and you should try it.
Perhaps you can give me some insight into what sorts of gifts would be appreciated by the Winter Queen.
Ivariel, you are her most arduous retainer. You know her better than the rest of us.
She admires. And correct me if I'm wrong, Russell, because I'm just lying here.
Yep, making shit up. We're all making shit up at this point.
She admires things of strength and beauty. She admires, as you might think, things of magic.
Ah, magic, yes. Hmm.
She admires things that add to her kingdom or strengthen it in any way.
I see.
That is the only reason she chose me.
I see. Hmm. Curious, curious indeed. Magic, you say? That is a problem.
Why is that a problem, my lord?
Oh, well, you see, my dear guest, our kingdom at present is in a state of flux. For now, King Ivran seeks to consolidate all of the ancient magics. Our country is largely at peace with the world, and so the ancient war magic that has been brought here by the primal elves and delivered to our families and lineages so many years past are no longer relevant to the world that we live in. And so King Ivran has made the edict that it shall be gathered together and collected where it can be protected most carefully by our royal household guards.
So you take away things that belong to a family's lineage, my lord. Is that what you are saying?
He looks at you and looks you up and down for a moment. He says, "You speak very plainly, sir."
To you, perhaps.
It could be considered something like this. Not everybody is in agreement with this policy, but this is the policy nonetheless, and Lord Ivran is the High King. So his edicts shall be obeyed.
I understand this policy very well.
What are you doing about the orcs?
The Orcs, yes, ever ready to invade. I understand. We have a general call out among our people. All members of our race train daily with weapons, swords, and bows. Even our children are trained to fight.
And you do not take the fight to them?
It is somewhat difficult to take the fight to them. We are separated by a mountain range we call the Banakaya. The dwarven peoples who live in the under regions beneath the Banakaya, they have not given full permission for us to traverse these byways. They have passes, we understand, that would take us directly through, but yet we are in negotiations. They still refuse to give us passage.
Despite the orcs coming from the other side, and I'm assuming not also being given passage?
If orcs are coming from the other side, they come in such small numbers. When we decide to make our offense, we shall take the fight directly to their empire and to the core of them. Then we shall take these dwarven passages, once the dwarves have given us their, signed the treaty that we seek to have with them. We shall take a numerous force through the passages of the Underdark, directly to the heart of the Orcan Empire, and there we shall crush them at their core.
My lord, what should we be aware of in this place? What is right to do? What is wrong to do? What is the political situation?
King Ivran, he says somewhat sensitively, is, as I say presently, upon his own mission to consolidate all of the ancient elven magic so that it can be more easily utilized in such future campaigns as necessary, if and when required. As I say, at present, our civilization is largely secular, and how else to put it? We are not in a state of war. There has not been a true war here for near on 1,000 years. Thus, we wish to maintain this peace as long as possible. And to do so, King Ivran is quite sensitive about magic and the use thereof.
He doesn't like magic?
He likes to contain it.
So we should not use magic in city, or we are allowed to use magic in city, just like hush hush?
Magic is not something that we he looks around kind of suspiciously. You can make an insight check, Caitlin, or anybody that cares to do so.
I care to do so.
All right.
Natural 20, 27.
And natural 20.
Natural 2021.
Insight.
Wow.
18.
Wow. Okay. There's some
Only
serious-
20s and 1s.
Let's see what
My curse.
Barry gets here for this insight check. Insight +1. That is a 13. Oh, that's Malachor. I'm sorry. How did I? Oh, wait. Is it? Is it? What happened there? Oh, Malachor was a 24. Ivariel was a 13. Okay. So we got a 27, a 21, a 20, an 18, a 24, and a 13. So nobody got a terrible, terrible roll. You can all kind of see that he's quite uncomfortable talking about this. He seems to be conflicted about it, for those of you that have the higher numbers. He seems to be more conflicted about it than his station warrants. And you get the impression that despite his being required to enforce these rules, he's not entirely comfortable with them.
Okay, so no magic.
He also has some sympathy for you as well, you suspect.
Question, are we actually going to be allowed to leave in 24 hours?
I should hope so.
Okay. Insight check.
Okay, make an insight check.
Um, 21.
You think from he seems to believe that you will.
Okay.
And at that point, there's another knock at the door, and some servant comes in and announces that the journey to the bathhouses has been established and can be made if you so require. We can also give you a quick tour around Hemoth Tirith also, if you like.
My lord, I was about to say, perhaps we can all meet for dinner at a place of your choice.
Oh, dinner will be served in the great hall here in the palace, my lord.
Okay, here's what I have to propose for plan. We go for a tour on the city, then we go for a nice bath so we're presentable, and then we go for dinner.
I like this plan. This is a good plan.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, okay. So basically, I'm going to take this opportunity to read to you guys some descriptions of parts of the city, which you can take as your tour. And it may help you visualize Hemoth Tirith, and going forward, you'll have a better idea about where things are, hopefully, and what they look like and what to expect. At any point, you can add, little scenes and vignettes if you so desire. So we'll start with the Citadel. So the Citadel, which is where you are right now, the Highbrook Citadel is a huge and impressive structure forged from the magic of the ancients and carved directly out of the mountain. Shaped by the elemental forces and spells long lost, few other structures of its kind have survived into the present day intact and remain inhabited. Essentially, this is an enormous castle set above the lower quarters of the city on an enormous ledge of granite. Its outer walls rise directly out of the cliff face, which to the lower quarter inhabitants is simply known as North Wall. This wall is punctuated with 11 guard towers, 7 of which border the lower city directly. There is one heavily guarded entrance to the upper quarters known as the High Gate, which opens out into a huge garden area dominated by the Citadel proper and to the main Citadel entrance itself. This massive structure consists of an outer castle with 4 huge turrets and enormous impenetrable walls which connect to the palace complex at the back, set into the mountain itself and rising up over the castle. The Palace of the Stars is divided into 3 main sections, not apparent from the outside. Left of the Highbrook Falls, which jet forth from directly between these 2 structures, is the Moon Palace. To the right, the Sun Palace, and then underground, connecting are the halls of the mountain, and above that, floating on archways that stretch across the Highbrook Falls, is a smaller but extraordinarily beautiful, elegant, and fragile-looking Star Palace. So that's the Citadel. The temple complex briefly consists of a bunch of towers they call the spires, that include the Sun Spire, the Tower of the Moon, the Twilight Spire, the Dawn Spire, the Tower of Stars, the Basilica, the Mortuary, the Catacombs, the Acolytes' Quarters, 7 various shrines, the Treasury, 7 wishing wells. They show you about all of these places. 4 lower sanctuaries, the Higher Sanctuary, the Courtesans' private entrances, which you go past, 4 elemental gates, Graveyard of Heretics, the gardens and the orchards.
Just at the wishing wells, I'm going to elbow Malachor and be like, hey, maybe you should wish in the well, and maybe like things will go better for you.
Right.
She kind of laughs it off, and then as everyone starts moving forward, she'll stay behind a bit and flick it into the well, and then move on.
What does she wish?
I can't say, otherwise it won't come true.
He is wishing that you like someone in the party.
At the North Wall, traditionally the North Wall district has served 2 primary purposes throughout history. Returning soldiers and travelers entering from either the west or east gates have shoed their horses here and had their weapons and armor repaired, cleaned, or replaced. Thus, this narrow slither of a city directly below the Citadel wall between the east and west brook bridges has become famous for its blacksmiths, forgers, armorers, and weaponsmiths.
Russell,
Yes.
I told them before we go, to take note of every place they go to, every street, everything like that.
Okay. As well as the few elven smiths who have become established here, there are at least 3 famous dwarven weaponsmiths and armorers who live in the city and call the North Wall district their home. In fact, the North Wall district and the northwestern quarter are somewhat notorious for their foreign inhabitants, which also include at least one gnomish family who build toys, and a half-orc named Durag Hruntil, a simpleton that mucks up stables at the Grumpsh's Folly Tavern. To this end, this is the only district where foreign races, with the exception of dignitaries, are particularly welcome. Here they can find hospitality, shelter, and possibly even work, as long as they are prepared to work hard. So this is a paraphrase of what you are told by Isla and other attendants that you have with you as you travel. And you are shown the entrance to Grumpsh's Folly Tavern. Then you go to the northern quarter itself, the home of the famous Westbrook Gate. The northwestern quarter is a triangular city block separated from the rest of the lower city by the Westbrook itself, which tumbles down from the Citadel about 700 feet in from the western wall. Incidentally, the waterfall comes down through the center of the Citadel, over the center of the Citadel, and then it breaks up into 3 different streams, and then tumbles down to the next level of the city as 3 different streams. And the bridges that then entail break up the city into all these different blocks within that.
Do they perhaps cross streams?
Yes. Are you being rude?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Just inquisitive.
So triangle for its with the thick part of the triangle in the north against the Citadel wall, it is known for its boutique taverns and historical College of Bards, fashioned from the ancient ruins of a temple destroyed by dragon fire long ago, but since redecorated. Here you can find the College of Bards, the campus, the Westbrook Gate, the Westbrook Bridge, the Rose Market, Maymon's Crook, a tavern, and the Arvendor Tea House. The southwestern quarter, with several prominent towers and spires overlooking the city, the southwestern quarter is sometimes seen as gloomy. It is true that at certain times of the day, the massive structures of the city's civic center overshadow much of the southwestern quarter. And because of the curve of the wall, which wraps at least half of it into a fairly tight space, it is often dark at street level. The southwest quarter is, however, best explored from the bridges and high passes that connect its towers and municipal buildings, from where one can see deep into the Lockhart Valley to the lake, and on a good day may even make out the wild elves' sacred elm habitat known as Etz at the far end of the valley beyond the water. It is also the home of the famous Dragon Watch Tower, used for centuries to survey the surrounding valley and even some of its roads, especially the road to Vane Gate, which enters the city directly through the southern gate. Here can be found the southern gate, the lower council chambers, the Dragon Watch Tower, the southwest barracks, the stables, and the southwestern command post. The eastern quarter, divided at its northern end by Lockhart Lane, which crosses the entire walled city from east to west in an almost straight line. The eastern quarter is what most newcomers see first as they enter through the prominent east gate along the Koenig Way. From the gate, they see flat buildings and tenements of the lower classes in the foreground, with the gleaming spires and domes of the civic quarter behind. Here, as with the northeast quarter, low and middle class housing and businesses are stacked upon one another, with wooden structures filling every available space between the ancient stone masonry and the city's lower wall. The eastern quarter itself is most famous for its markets, taverns, and nightlife, as well as its open-air arena. Every corner seems to be the home of a shrine or a temple. Beggars are usually turned out by the city guard here, but occasionally even they can be found, especially on certain holy days. Here you can find the eastern gate, the tenements for rent, the arena, temples of Palor and the other Seldarine, as well as various human gods, but mostly Seldarine. 22 shrines, small and well-known gods alike, city watch headquarters, the farmer's market, the butcher's market, the veggie market, the granaries, the stables, the wheelwrights, the coopers, and the Red Ravens Tavern. Now, actually, none of you know about Red Ravens. Never mind. Gets to north of eastern quarter. Sorry if this is taking a long time. If you're getting bored, if you want to add anything in here at any point.
It's just like a city tour.
It is a city tour, very much a city tour. But this is the city that the story is taking place in, so it's kind of useful to have this
Oh yeah.
in your head, hopefully.
We go past a garden by
Consider that the
multiple
cutscene.
gardens.
Okay. I'm gonna if there's gardens or just a park that we go past, I'm gonna hang back 1 or 2 feet, nip 1 or 2 quite nice flowers and make a little collection of them.
Okay. You want to make a stealth check?
Sure. What's my stealth? There's my stealth. Oh my gosh, my internet's so shit. It's rolling it very slowly. I can't see what that is. That might be a total garden. 8. 8.
Yeah. Okay. Not very stealthy. Okay. Fortunately for you, nobody's going to stop you. You seem to be getting away with this.
How many guards do we have at any one time?
About 4. So then you get to the northeastern quarter, known as the Art District, and famous for its artisans, potters, weavers, and armorers. To the northeastern quarter is a bustling hub of trade. The silks and clothes produced by the elven looms here are famous all across the world. Jammed up against the Citadel wall, this area of Highbrook is always well policed day and night, as the looms often work to all hours to fulfill the orders of faraway monarchs and rich traveling merchants. Here too, the famous armories of the now I actually changed the names of all of these family names, but never mind. So various family names, I'm going to ignore the names, whose elven chain and plate armor is worn by the royal household soldiers and city guards. They have also fully equipped and stocked forge facilities within the Citadel, and there is a rumor of a secret tunnel that connects them to the lower northeastern quarters, which one of the courtesans who's among you will give that little detail away.
Are these rumors part of the tour?
They're not officially part of the tour, but this, as I say, one of the courtesans tells you this. Kind of clearly not very bright. This particular individual. The area is also famous for its incredible old empire mansions, Talandaran, many of which sit built into the Citadel walls itself. The northeastern quarter is noted for its contrasts as well as its class.
Are there any plaques with Talandaran written on them?
There is the Talandaran manse, which is probably pointed out to you. They point out the Ariasis, the Talandaran, the Arathani manses, and some other places.
Eli, look, it's our last name, but spelled differently.
I do not like this. I do not like this house.
It looks very like our last name.
I'm going to get you to make perception checks, actually, at this point.
Was Alar introduced to us simply as Alar?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Alar, sorry, I was calling him Alar.
Try a 1.
14. I'm rolling terribly today.
17.
17.
I have a +7 to my perception. I'm rolling terribly.
Wow. A 10. Okay, so all right. Death Arm and Peleus. I better roll for Barry as well. Hang on. Where are you, Ivariel? Perception.
Mine's just taking a while to roll as well. Oh, you got to be kidding me.
An 8. Okay. Never mind, Ivariel. And what did you get, Malachor?
I got a total of 11.
Wow. Shocking.
Although it says 12.
12.
Oh,
Okay.
it does 6 + 6. It doesn't understand how advantage works, despite the fact I'm using the app.
That's a bit weird. Seems to be a bug
Silly.
then. Okay. Peleus, 21.
Yes.
Nyla, you notice something funny. Death Arm, you also notice this, especially as you go past, but you and Peleus mostly notice. But as you're going past this particular gate, there seems to be this weird shimmering effect happening. And there's these 2 giant moss-covered lions on either side of the gate as you go past. Feel free to jump over the gate and confront the guard dogs. Just kidding.
I don't think anyone would want to go anywhere near that house anytime soon.
Ela, what is this house? It is strange. It is unlike the other houses.
He turns and looks at you. Which house, sir?
This one with the mossy lions and the shimmering.
I cannot say I'm sure, my lord. I believe it might be the house of the Firahels. It seems to be abandoned.
Does look in quite disrepair.
Perhaps they are at their summer home.
Shall we go in and have a look around, seeing as no one is there?
I do not think that would be appropriate.
No, probably not.
Let us
Do not mind me. It was a whim.
Whim is your fancy, my lord, as you are from the Feywild. The northeastern quarter, he says, also lower down, closer to the east gate, behind the pottery studios and sculptors, they show you are hidden various dens of inequity outside of the price range of the average citizen. But yes, the family manses include the cloth dyers, the artisans and studios, the garment makers, the looms and armories, and of course the Talandaran house.
Russell, as we're going through this area, do I see any clothing places, and in particular with like some scarves hung up or something?
Yep.
So while everyone's walking past, I see this lovely green cotton scarf. That will do. I'm gonna walk in. Excuse me, I would like this one.
Yes, my lord. That would be 15 silver.
I have only gold. Is that a problem?
I will give you change for gold if you have gold.
Thank you. What is the exchange rate for gold silver here?
10 gold. 10 silver is a gold.
Okay, this is excellent. I can afford many of these, but I will buy only one. Thank you.
Very well, she says, and
so
tells you
getting a really nice green scarf.
It's
Big brother, are you okay?
It is a nice scarf.
It is very nice. It is silk.
It is also made clear to you that you were welcome to stop and buy, souvenirs and things as you travel. So if you have any souvenirs that you'd like to buy, or we can dream anything up, go for it.
Is there like a little model of the Star Palace?
In a snow globe.
Yeah, in a snow globe.
Not in a snow globe, but there is a model of the Star Palace.
I will buy that.
Okay. All right, very well. Finally, you get to the civic center, where this is the center of the lower quarters, and it's dominated by the colossal features of the civic quarter, which include the enormous forum and various libraries, including the libraries of law, art, magic, religion, and culture. Notice that the Library of Magic has its doors shut and it is sealed. There are guards posted outside of it.
People don't like to read?
Not the Library of Magic.
Oh, right, yes. No magic.
However, religion, culture libraries are all still open, as well as being a central hub of commerce stemming from the city's treasury, where the famous Elven currency, the Electrum pieces, are minted and exchanged. Beyond this, there are the primary civic buildings. The civic quarter also contains any number of supporting establishments and locales, including upper-class taverns, bathhouses, inns, fine boutique stores, markets, and houses for sale. So here you'll find the forum, the libraries, the Electrum Mint, the Royal Treasury, the House of Records, and the bathhouses. And that is where your tour ends. And you find yourselves at the doors entering the bathhouses.
Excellent.
Oh, I was muted. I said, all right, cannonball!
Right.
Take off your clothes first.
And to get the bath.
Keep your weapons by you.
I'll be back.
I'm like Bruce Almighty. And immediately
Very
runs
impressive.
and jumps. Little brother, older brother, it is not big deal. It is, everybody is naked. It is normal.
Peleus is going to like reach into one of his pockets. He's going to pull out a ribbon and he's going to just cover his eyes. Much better.
You don't have to be so prudish. Animals are naked in all times.
We are... Okay, that is fair. But also, I will keep my modesty for now. Thank you.
Okay, brother.
but
You are
he-
weird.
But he is going to just drop his clothes on the spot and walk in. The only thing he's keeping is the ribbon over his eye.
So he doesn't care about his own nudity. He just doesn't
No.
want to see his sisters naked.
Yes.
Fair. We used to bathe when we were little. It's not that much different.
Neither of us is little anymore. Well, I am not little. Like you're quite small.
Amazing.
I will wait for you all outside.
You're not going to come?
No, I am
If-
not going to.
You really
if-
need to bath though, because you stink.
Ivariel being kicked around by orcs will leave a stench on you.
You can bring your sword.
Surely it will not rust.
It is the stench of victory.
I think you're right, boss. You are starting to smell a little bit.
Honestly, everybody smells apart from me and Sarah because we bathe normally.
Yes, I can still smell the petals, and I did not realize it would permeate the water thusly.
Yes, well, you like flowers.
I am a fan.
I do not trust this place, and I do not want to die in a bathtub.
There are worse places to die.
At least the water will kind of keep you warm.
I do not want to die at all.
But we're not going to die. If anything's going to happen, it would have happened already, to be fair.
While this conversation's happening, Peleus is just doing a doggy paddle through the water, but like his nose is all that's above, and he kind of has to just keep lifting it to talk.
And he's still got this the scarf across his eyes.
Yeah, so he's like swum into the sides and pillars once or twice, but he refuses to take it off.
Is he wearing the beautiful green scarf around his arm?
No. That's like he's dropped his clothes, but he really gently put the scarf. I folded the scarf and put that down where it should be.
I don't think anybody here has actually been to a bathhouse before.
No.
Like the Winter Court just doesn't have this kind of thing, right?
Surely it has like underground springs.
It has
so it's like the only
saunas.
warmth in the thing is to go to the bathhouse once a year.
Possibly, yeah, possibly. I think the majority of your existence is this frozen, cold, bitter kind of reality that you live through most of the time. And
Oh, it's like Norway where we have like ice baths, so that's the fact that the water is warm is amazing.
Yeah, when Peleus wants to like bathe and he's outside, he just collects a pile of snow and then just punches it until it's liquid, and then like just sits in it.
I
miserably.
am debating whether to wash or not.
I feel like you should, because like you are assaulting the senses at present point.
We had no choice in how we were presented to the king earlier, but we have a choice now.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it would be rude not to bathe.
A choice to die in a bathtub.
It does seem like the done thing in this world, boss.
If it makes you feel better, I will finish and then I will stand out and stand guard.
You are going to stand guard?
Yes.
You mean you are not going to run off and commune with the nature that is outside?
I mean, that is debatable, but yes, I will attempt to stay still.
inside the bathhouse is also a number of acolytes to the goddess Hanale Selanal. Hanale Selanal.
All right,
Selanal. She's the goddess of beauty, and they're selling oils and scents.
It's not like I can. Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna use a wild shape and turn into a wolf, and I'll be like, on the case.
You're gonna do a Steve, are you?
I can't wait for the run and the arrest again. Just I want to see a wolf dragged to the streets with manacles on all four of its paws.
I go up to her and I say, looking her right in the eyes, change back now.
I change back. I just thought you wanted me to be on guard. I be on guard as wolf. It is the best way to be on guard.
No magic in this place, remember?
Oh, right. That's right. No magic. Oh,
there are a lot of screaming people.
I forgot.
Right now. There are a whole lot of people in the bathhouse who are screaming.
Alec is going to roll her eyes, go into the bath, sit down, and where there's a platform behind her, she just puts her crossbow there and just relaxes.
The guards come out and surround you.
I think Seraphine at this point has taken herself away already to the beauty counter. She's looking at perfumes and such.
Okay, so you are separated
Everyone's
from everybody
screaming.
else.
Gentlemen,
Everyone's screaming. I'm now back. I'm human. I'm elven again. I'm not a dwarf anymore.
gentlemen, gentlemen.
I have to do something to get me arrested.
One of the guards
Out
comes
of game.
forward.
Gentlemen, we are new to this city. We have just learned the rules. My friend made a slight error. I pray that you will forgive her error.
I am very sorry. I forgot about the fact that you guys do not like magic.
Nothing more shall be spoken of this incident
Thank
this
you.
day.
Thank you.
They dismiss the guards. When you are done, we shall return to the palace.
Well, now she's on guard, and you are on guard, aren't you?
Yes, I'm on guard. Just in elven form, which is boring.
All right. I will have my bath. And put on some clothes and
Okay.
get ready for this main event that I don't want to do.
All right. Long story short, you guys have your baths and you get marched back rather unceremoniously this time, very directly to the palace. No fucking around, no going off route, no. Here's a fabulous scarf merchant. None of that business. You go. You be best behavior now, and you get back to the palace and shown to your quarters. Ayla informs you that the king will be holding court in 1 hour, where there will be a feast held in honor of the Winter Queen. And the doors shut, and you are by yourselves once more.
I write down on a piece of parchment, how much of the city did you notice and remember? To each one
Next
of
to
them.
All of it. All of it. I
Alright.
remember everything. I have a trait that means I remember everything.
Do you? Do you have a eidetic memory or something like that?
It is a, where is it? Where are you hiding? It is the Wanderer feature. I'm an outlander. You have an excellent memory for maps and geography, and you can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around you. In addition, you can find food, fresh water for yourself and up to 5 other people each day, provided the land offers very small game, water, and so forth.
Okay.
That is just part of my training. Right. I remember the geography.
So when dinner time comes around, what is everybody wearing? Let's start with Steve.
I don't think Datham really changes too much out of his regular clothes. He's just like in support of his boss. Yeah, he's not scruffy, but he's not overly dressed up.
All right.
Did we get given any other clothes to wear, or are we just wearing what we arrived in?
If you want to, you can sue to be to acquire some other clothes if you want. You can ask the servants for assistance with that if you want.
I'll come in what I had.
Okay.
Yeah, probably just wearing what I was wearing.
Okay.
Maybe like another like gold thing that I found while we were
Just
walking.
gonna step away for a sec.
Okay.
Peleus would have he's seen how Ayla dresses, and he looks at his grubby tunic and his cape and everything's no, this will not do. So he's gonna walk up to his bed with like the lovely silken sheets. He's gonna tear them off and he's gonna wrap them around him like a toga. He's gonna just tie real tightly so it's quite form-fitting. He's got a tit hanging out. It's all quite alluring.
Big brother, you have
Yes.
made excellent choice in decoration of body.
You're telling me. You think you believe they just put these on the beds?
I know, it's ridiculous. It's so soft. I feel like you should go and see if Malika needs any help pressing, though.
Where are you going to put your sword?
I have a sheath, and it is next, Savariel. It's just the belt is there, the axe is hanging from it.
I'll say that Sarah's got a dress that she acquired last time she was here, so it'll be like 100 years out of style. And she got some perfume at the counter. It's Sweet Orange and Lang Lang. And yeah, she's
Very nice.
Malika is wearing her vestments. Hang on a second. I'm going to shut my window because there's apparently a lawnmower happening.
It's not a helicopter, is it?
No, a helicopter, but for the ground.
Lornicopter.
A groundicopter.
A lornicopter. She's wearing a high-collared red and black vestments. And she's going to try put some of the bigger flowers in her hair that she found.
Okay.
Peleus is gonna, walk in about then, in his sheets, and Meliko, I like your garb, and I purchased this today for you. I noticed when you were coming through the portal, you seemed quite cold, so this will help to cover whatever you want to cover it with. And also, your name reminds me of green.
Oh, thank you. She takes it,
It
unravels it.
It is a trifle.
Wraps it around her quite nicely. Quite, not luxuriously, but quite casual chic.
It's like a pashmina, and you're using it as like a extra layer of fabulousness. Yeah.
So before we continue to this dinner and so on and so forth, I just on the off chance that anything was to happen, I'd like everyone to roll initiative.
Surely this is just out of concern and curiosity.
It is.
Surely nothing.
Surely nothing.
Of course.
So I'll have you each roll, and then I'm going to call your names one at a time, and you can tell me what you got. So tell me have you all rolled your initiative yet? Has anyone not got their initiative yet? Barry, of course. Let me roll.
I got a really good initiative.
That's my third 6.
Okay.
Oh no!
A total of 10, but I rolled a 6. Oh, Barry.
Okay, so Nyla, initiative.
30. I rolled a
God.
17 plus 8 initiative normally, and then wait, is this initiative plus my feature? Do features automatically get added to initiative, or do I need to add that separately?
They should do get added.
Should order it. Yeah.
Okay, then 25.
Okay.
It's still really good.
That's still very good. Okay, 25. Seraphine.
Seraphine. I forgot what I got already. 13.
13. Okay. Deatharm.
13.
13. Peleus.
Oh God, let me double check. Sorry, I think that was 17.
Yep, you were
Yes, that was 17.
17. Variel was a massive 5. Malachor.
10.
It's a massive 10. All right, good. Cool bananas. All right, we'll just keep that in the back of our mind in case anything was to happen.
Malika's going to look at Peleus's rags.
There's not rags, is there? These are the lovely sheets that were on my bed.
Very classical, I suppose.
I thought so.
You might look better with a little bit of this, and she offers some of the other flowers to Peleus.
Oh, thank you. And he's just going to just really delicately stick them in randomly into his hair. And he's going to look into a mirror.
I think and she's going to fix a few where they look a little bit off, and they're kind of pointing in the wrong direction.
Thank you.
Anyways, now you look like a nice little shrub.
My
I-
character, when he sees all this, is just nodding his head.
All right. So
Nylas just sitting in the background with like surfing. Malika and Eli sitting in a tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
So if nothing else is going to happen in the meantime, shall we fast forward to dinner? All right. So with much ceremony, you are announced and brought in one at a time. You can tell me what order you come in. Or should we just use initiative? That's what it was for dinner. It was for dinner.
This is true. Dinner is warfare. I think let's use the initiative order.
That'd be a great theme for a movie. Dinner is warfare.
An entire dinner script based on the art of war.
Right.
Have you seen
I'm
any
serious.
period drama?
That would
It's-
make
of
it
course.
is right. Downton Abbey, everything.
Dinner
It's
is definitely warfare.
right.
If you've seen any period drama ever.
right, but if you literally choose that to be the theme and then structuralize and analyze everything to basically reinforce that as a theme, that'd be awesome. Okay.
They've only placed dessert spoons. What am I meant to eat with? Eat the steak with?
Battle axe.
Knives are reserved for ultimates only. They're not for anything else.
How many black guard are in this room?
How many black guards? These are good questions. You can see 15 guards. Of those 15 guards, 10 of them are palace guards and 5 of them appear to be black guards. The 5 that appear to be black guards, one of them you believe to be the one that was named as Elandor earlier, who has a lot of finery and how do you describe that stuff?
Medals?
Honorifics, medals, extra bits and pieces attached to his armor. And they announce him as, they introduce you to him as Elandor Uthimar Talandaran, Verdant Knight of the Seven Moons, Grand Tribune, Archon of the High King, Companion of the Stars, Supreme Commander of the Black Guard. So there's him, and he has 4 of his personal guards with him at all times. And they stand behind him when he sits. Then, of course, there's the king. When you come in, there's also in this room, dun, dun, dun. Okay. You were introduced to Neverth Van Deer, Master of Trade. These people are each announced one at a time as they go around the table. Intivar Elazadril, Master of the Tower of Art, Keeper of the East Gate. Strawn Isendril, Master of the Red Tower, Keeper of the South Gate. Iamanthe, Sunweaver, Mistress of the Golden Arch, Keeper of the Inner Court. Takarai, Windwalker, Mistress of the Storms. Tolthe Erathane, Chronicler of the High Houses and Seer. These are the main people that are introduced to you. And then there's a bunch of other less nobles sitting at a different table further back in the room. Sarah Fane, can you make a perception check, please?
That's a 20, a dirty 20.
Can you make a wisdom saving throw, please?
Wisdom. That's a 10.
The word Drew barely escapes your mouth under your breath. You can play with that how you will. But I believe you know what I'm talking about.
I do now, thank you. I've been trying to find his name.
Right. Yes, he has a much more, let me see. I am going to have to do a little search.
Sorry, folks. Back in a moment.
But feel free to tell me more about what you guys are doing whilst I search.
If there's wine on the table, definitely drinking the wine.
Yep.
And just sort of looking at Pelias and Melikor and just going.
Right.
But while drinking the wine, so it's
Okay, very good. So you're drinking. I wanted to say Edrin, but you're not Edrin, you're Melikor. What are you doing?
Malika's not drinking the wine. She doesn't typically drink wine.
Mhm.
I know, a complete shift in character for me.
Bizarre. Quite weird.
Bizarre, I know, right? And she's engaging in the very bare essentials of polite conversation with other people, except for when it comes to her fellow companions, in which case she's a little bit more, she might add one or two extra words, but otherwise she's quite just kind of there and bearing through the social situation.
All right. Very good, very good. Okay, Steve, tell me about what your character's doing, thinking.
He's a bit of a drinker, so he's getting stuck into the various wines and ales that are available.
Right. Sounds
Mixing with records.
reasonable. Sounds reasonable. Okay. So yes, Seraphane, you have seen Drew. I still can't find his full name. It's got to be here somewhere, but Anne Rundal Drew Ildruin.
That's right.
Anne Rundal
No,
Ildruin is his last name.
that's not. Oh, through one. Right. So trying not to stare, but probably failing because she's trying to see if he recognizes her. And
He's looking at you from the other table.
all right, she's probably blushing a little bit.
He's looks pallid. He's gone pale.
Hmm.
Have either Nyla or myself noticed Sarah blushing, and or maybe her changed demeanor?
Make perception checks.
okay. I will do that too. By the way, Nyla's like staring at you and Melikor like 19 to see if Sarah is blushing.
18 to see if Sarah's blushing.
18 to see if Sarah is blushing. I suspect that you do notice her changed demeanor.
Sarah, are you okay? You're
Yeah.
a little red.
You're
You've got like
quite
a rosy
flushed.
complexion going on right now. What are you looking at?
It's a bit warm. It's a bit warm in here.
It is warmer than our home, yes.
Would you like some wine? It's very refreshing.
Variel, you get a 10 for perception on this, so unfortunately you don't notice. What are you thinking about?
I'm just watching everybody, not really drinking.
Okay.
I'm just watching everybody.
All right. Well, the short and the long of it is that they feed you, they introduce you to all these people. Their names seem generally meaningless. That they're just a parade of nobles brought before you, and at some point, you are in fact introduced to each person one after the other, and taken around in a line to each of them, whereby you get to shake their hands and what have you. And so, finally, it gets to the point where Seraphane, you are brought before Drew. Or Anne Rundal, should we say, and he looks at you and you look at him, and there's this awkward moment, and some of you might notice this, of course. He says, and you are well?
Yes, in a manner of speaking.
And where have you been? Or need I not ask this question?
I have been back to my home.
I see. Well, perhaps we should forget everything and move forward as if nothing had happened.
Do you two know each other?
Yes, seems to be best that we do. Forgive me, I'll speak not of it again.
Do you two know each other?
He looks over at you, Nyla. He says, only in a matter of speaking.
Insight check.
All right. Trouble, eh?
20.
You're so victorious. Yeah, there's something funny going on between these two. And your insight tells you that he resents your interest in his private affairs.
I do not feel well.
Oh, okay. I will go and tend to Sarah and just sort of like look at Drew. Like, I know you're hiding something, but this is not the moment right now. It might be in 5 minutes, but it's not at the moment.
King Ivran says something to his next of his dude, his second in command, who happens to be Elandor, who then stands up and rings a bell, and who says, "Lords and ladies of Hemath Tirith, our King Ivran should like to speak with our new guests alone. Forgive us. I hope you have enjoyed your meal. But now we shall have private forum, a private audience with the king." And everybody is ushered out except for you guys.
Are you all right, Sarah?
Some people, you notice, are a little bit put out because they're only halfway through their dinner.
So there's no rule that if the king finishes eating, everybody else has to finish eating?
Pretty much it, yeah.
Which is a natural rule with the monarchy.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Sarah?
I will speak with you privately later.
Okay.
Okay, so you are then led back to the other room that you first met the king in, and then through that room out the other side to an even smaller chamber, like a private meeting room, which also has a throne in it, but it's a smaller throne, and it's not quite as high up as the original one, but it seems to service the purposes of being like a private throne room, or a more, lower key kind of a deal. There are still guards posted and what have you. As you go through the throne room too, I'll get you to make perception checks.
Twenty.
20, goodness me. 16.
Sarah's a bit distraught.
So Peleus, nothing.
I got to roll again.
Nyla, death. Malik, were you rolling again?
Well, I get advantage. So 23 total.
Crikey, you upped it by 1 point from 22.
And got to respect the mechanics. Gotta
respect the mechanics.
Got to see it out to the end. Got to see it out to the end.
Right, every last mechanic, every last point. All right,
yep, every last little modifier.
Malachor, Diatherm, and Nyla. What you notice? Oh, and I better roll for Ivariel. Perception. Which was a 9. Unfortunately, Ivariel is distracted. The rest of you notice the ceiling of the Megaron chamber is painted with this amazing fresco, or has an amazing fresco on the roof, which depicts the moment that Parkard struck the moon and fractured it into 7 pieces. and the whole story of Grumsh and Coralon are behind you on the wall near the front door, the front entrance. Their combat, this is like a montage of this whole epic tale involving these two gods and Sehenin Moonbow, and their conflict and her being sent to the abyss. And around the walls are the 7 primary moons. Yes. So yeah, that's basically it. Nothing special other than that. You go through to this private chamber, and the guards are posted there. There's a long moment of silence as the king looks at you all, and you notice that the gifts that you gave him earlier are here as well, and they're laid out on the table once again next to him. And he stands up from his throne, and he says, "Ah, you've come. Excellent. Thank you." Takes a deep breath and sigh, and he kind of winces as he walks, you notice, over to the table. He picks up the wreath. He says, "This, I have no use for this." He tosses it on the floor in front of him. He says, "This mirror, I insist Elandor, you should take this mirror and this globe. They should be useful to you in your duties, I imagine." Elandor takes those items from the table, looks at the scarf. He says, "Perhaps this would be useful for some concubine." He tosses it back on the table. He looks at you all. He says, "So, this portal that you came here through, where is it?"
It moves.
Well, speak, damn you.
It doesn't stay in the same place. It might be somewhere else.
Might be somewhere else. And how do you know where you're going to return to it? I don't believe you. I think you're lying.
What reason would I have to lie?
You would not come here if you did not have a means to return to your homeland.
No, we can return. We find other portals. They're just not always in the same place.
Find another portal. And how will you do that?
I have a 16-year-old, and believe me, but it goes to dating.
If you're speaking, Seraphine, I cannot hear you.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
You'll track the portals. Do you not have this skill in Citadel?
I'm not here to answer your questions. You are answering mine.
Okay.
How often does this portal open? How do you predict it?
We don't. It's kind of wild. It's of nature. It just happens. It's not like it can be predicted.
These, I do not believe you. How will you ever return to the Feywild if that were the case? You must have some means of knowing. Now, out of game, one of you is a Horizon Walker, are you not?
I think that's me, but I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah, it's Sarah.
Yeah.
Right.
Sarah can find portals and leave.
Right. I don't even know if it's in that book.
It should be on your D&D Beyond character something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be in features and traits or description. It'll probably be in description under background.
Right.
So bearing in mind that this whole game is somewhat of an exploratory draft rather than a polished, finished product, unlike our actual stream, which is, highly polished, and I feel that this is a good time for us to iron out these sorts of details and inconsistencies.
My
if they exist.
king.
He looks at you, Ivariel.
If you had this gift, my king, would you tell anybody how to use it?
He looks over at Ayla. he says, I believe you know what to do. And the king heads towards the door and the guards close around you. And the door shuts.
I'm sorry, what is happening?
We are being taken prisoner.
Ayla puts the objects on the table in a bag, and Elandor leaves. And now there is just a group of black guards in the room. And Ayla looks back at you. And he says, I think you should have this. And he pushes the bag into your hands, Peleus. He says, get out now if you can. And he pushes past you and leaves.
Wait,
Guards begin to surround you now.
okay, question. You are declaring war on Winter Queen. Is what happening?
You have no time. Do something now.
Okay, I wild shape.
Right, you wild shape. Now, we already have our initiative, and it is Nyla's turn. So you're wild shaping.
Yep, I'm just saying what would be best for this.
Yes, Seraphine.
Weapons?
You've got your weapons.
Okay.
Have you already used one for today?
Guard will step forward, though, and say, disarm yourselves.
I will wild shape into a direwolf.
There are 6 guards here, by the way.
I was just about to ask how many.
Yep, there are 6. They're not all wearing the same either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them look like they're the same, and one of them looks like a captain. So you've turned into a dire wolf. All right. And is it an action or a bonus action?
It's an action, I'm pretty sure, to
Okay.
wild shape.
Do you have any bonus actions you'd like to utilize?
Bonus actions. Nope. I am a big, massive white dire wolf in the middle of the people that are my friends.
Okay. And that's your whole turn?
I only get one action, yeah?
Typically, unless it says on your character sheet that you have more than one action. We can have a quick look because you are 5th level. Features and traits at 5th level. Wild shape, drift circle, starry form.
Oh, hold on. Can be in superhero. It's bonus shape to being not in form, but it's an action to become a form. So yeah, that's my action.
Okay. All right. But do you want to use any bonus actions? Do you have any bonus actions that you can use in wolf form?
Nope.
Okay. Very good. Then the guard attacks you. And he's going to unleash at you with a longsword.
Rude.
So rude.
His first attack misses you. His second attack, what's your armor class?
14 in the wolf shape.
14. He hits you in your wolf shape.
Ooh, right in the wolf shape.
Right in the wolf shape. And he does 11 points of wolf shape damage.
Okay.
Slashing damage. All right. At which point the second guard is going to attack whoever's next to you. Who's standing next to her?
I'd probably be very close to her and Sarah.
That makes sense. Okay, so the second guard is attacking you. What's your armor class?
17.
17. First attack misses you. Second attack, oh dear, a natural 20.
Fuck yeah.
So crit damage. 13 points of damage. It's not terrible for a crit, really. You're quite lucky.
I would like to use my reaction. Sorry, I was trying to talk. I didn't realize I'd muted myself. I'm going to use my reaction to use my Guardian Emblem to negate the critical. So it still hits, but it just doesn't do double damage.
Okay. So
thank you.
In which case, we'll just divide that in half and round it up, though.
So cool.
Yeah. Okay, and Peleus, it is now actually your turn.
I'm going to pull out my pipes, and I'm going to start playing them. And I need all of the guards to make a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw.
Okay, your sound's coming through very jaggedly right now.
Really, that's very strange. Is it?
Double check your connection. It feels like a connection issue, but I don't know. Could be the internet.
Internet looks like it's doing pretty good. Just 1 second. All right, how's that?
Still bad.
Still bad.
Yeah.
Okay, I might jump out and jump back in then.
Okay, but you need a what sort of saving throw? Wisdom, is it?
DC 15 Wisdom saving throw.
From all of the guards?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. 4 of them fail.
Cool. So for the next minute, they are frightened of us, or frightened of me specifically.
You. Okay, and that means they try to get away from you.
Yeah.
Let me just double check the frightened condition. Do you have any other actions on this turn?
I'm going to rage. So following that, my tail is going to rise out from under my cloak, or right out from under my toga actually, and it's going to come out really long and spined like a manticore's tail.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
that's my turn.
Okay. At this point, do you want to drop out and come back in?
Yep, we'll do.
Okay. Sadly. Sorry, guys. Can I just get a sound check from everyone just to make sure this is not just him?
Hello.
Yeah, I was hearing it too.
Hello,
though,
hello. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was just
I
him.
thought it was me though. I thought it was my
Testing,
connection to him.
testing. 1, 2, 3.
Nope, you're all good.
Yep, I could hear the same thing with Michael's
Yeah.
thing.
Everybody take up a position. I yell it out.
Alrighty. Come
So we're
back,
covering
Michael.
each other, sort of, as much as we can.
Yes.
A ranged weapon is that just a bow and
A
arrow?
bow and arrow, or a crossbow, or a throwing knife, or a throwing axe, a spear, a javelin, anything that's not something that you swing
Right.
or poke with.
No pokey, no swingy. All right,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah. It will usually on the weapon itself, it will tell you what category it is if you click on it. You're back, Michael.
Yes, how am I sounding?
That's better. Yes, that's
Hey,
better.
love
Cool.
it.
Much better. Excellent. Excellent. So that was at 3 hours and 37 minutes. There is a sound glitch. Okay. All right. So, Michael, what were you doing? You're getting your tail out for a manticore tail business, bloody blah.
Yeah,
You were describing.
Yeah.
Okay. And is that all you can do? Can you attack with it in this round or not?
No, I can't attack when it comes out.
Okay.
So that's my whole action.
That's your whole action. Okay. One of the guards that is not terrified of you takes a shot at you with a longsword. What's your armor class?
17.
He does hit.
Cool. I'm going to use my reaction to swipe it aside with my tail. So I'm going to roll an extra D8. I'm going to add that to my AC.
Did you have a reaction already this turn?
That was me.
No.
That was you, just double checking.
All right, bollocks, that's an extra 1. So my AC for this is 18.
18 did not help.
Never mind then.
You take 5 points of damage from the longsword.
Cool. And is that a halved for my rage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it will be, yeah, because you have
So
certain immunities, don't you?
Yeah.
Or
So
not immunities, but
resistance.
resistance. Thank you.
Cool.
Okay. Is that your turn?
Yeah. That's my reaction. Yeah.
All right. Death Arm Trigarthan.
So I am going to try and rush the guy with the sword
Which there's
Using-
6 guys with swords.
using my or the one that's not frightened.
Okay.
Using my dash action, my bonus dash action, and I will attempt to grapple him.
All right. Okay. So you're going to make basically a strength check, yeah? An athletics
Yep.
check.
Yep.
All right.
Athletics. Yep.
All right. Ooh. Ooh. He slips your grapple with a natural 20 by the looks of it.
Ooh.
Do you have any other actions, bonus actions?
Nope.
All right.
The dash was the bonus action. So
You didn't need to dash because the distance was not over 30 feet. You could just use your normal movement to do that.
oh, okay.
It would have been about 10 feet of worth of movement.
Just a housekeeping thing. Is this the next day? So we would have had a long rest between when we fought the orcs and now? Or is there
No, this is the same day.
same day? Okay. Just checking.
Is there anything to hide behind?
There's a
like,
throne.
tables
You
or-
could. There's
yeah.
a table. There's a throne. There are draperies on the walls,
Yep.
like curtains, essentially.
Um,
Tapestries.
is the throne close enough to hide for me to hide behind? So I've tried to grapple and missed and just duck out of the way.
I think that you are okay. So if you realize that you can't grapple him, or you just couldn't grapple him in that turn,
Yeah.
you can dash and use the hide action, or just use your movement and then use the hide action as a rogue, right? Yeah. You can do
Yeah.
that. So you can make a stealth check.
Okay. 15.
15. Okay, cool. That's your hiding
Yep.
business. All right. Seraphine Relay.
I would like to target the guard closest to me that's menacing and cast Hunter's Mark on him.
Okay. Good move.
Do I have to roll the effect now, or do I just do that and then hit him with my short sword?
I don't think you get an effect unless you hit him with your short sword.
Right. Okay. So I've done that, and then so I'm going to swing at him with my short sword.
Okay. Roll to hit.
And that is a 27.
Wow, that definitely hits. Was that that's not a natural 20?
No, it's a 19 plus 8.
Wow. Okay. All right. Very good. Do your damage, please.
Okay, so do I do the damage with the bit
You roll.
beside-
Yeah, you do the short sword damage, and then you add the Hunter's Mark damage.
Oh, I like Hunter's Mark.
Yeah.
All right. That's a 7.
Okay, so you do 7 points of damage plus.
And I need to move that out of the way. And
Hunter's Mark and Hex are pretty much the same thing, Joe. So
Okay,
that's why I'm always using it with Leaf.
Right.
it's a 4.
Right. Plus 4. So 7 plus 4. So you did 11 points of damage in that attack. Do you have any other attacks? Any other actions?
I don't believe so.
Just double check you don't have 2 attacks per round. Is that only fighters that can do that at 5th level?
Fighters and rangers.
too.
And
Fighters,
barbarians.
rangers, just paladins.
She is a ranger, so she might have 2 attacks.
All right. So that would be,
Let's just look at your features here.
oh, it's features.
Tech portal, keen sensors, elf training.
Under actions, it'll say at the very, very top, actions, attacks per action 2.
Right. Attacks per action 2. You have 2 attacks per action. So you can do all of that again. I don't think you can do the Hunter's Mark again. I think you can only do the attack roll again.
Okay. So then the short sword.
Yep, short sword.
The
Yep.
Hunter's Mark stays on until that creature dies or if she moves it to another creature. So she'll still get the damage for it.
That's a 23.
23 to hit. Hits. Yep. But I think the hunter's mark can only do 1 dice of damage per turn, not per attack.
That's 9.
9 points of damage. Okay. Very good. I will add that now.
Deals an extra 1d6 damage to the target whenever you hit it with a weapon attack.
Whenever you hit it. Okay.
Whenever you hit it.
Awesome.
Well,
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you do get to add your hunter's mark. Thank you for looking that up.
That's the 4.
Plus another 4. Awesome. Okay, so you did another 13. So in that round, you did 13 plus 11 points of damage. So that was what, 24 points of damage. That's a pretty decent chunk. Very nice. Okay, Malachor, you're next, unless Seraphine has anything else she can pull out of her hat.
No, but I will scour my feats and traits for next round.
All right, cool. All
Right.
right, Malachor.
I'm going to use the class feature Divine. Sorry, where is it going? Divine Smite, which is, I just do that. So that's a spell slot.
Mm-hmm.
I take my rapier. I'm going to stab at the closest one to me.
Which rapier is this? Your magical elven longsword rapier?
Oh, yes. Sorry, it just says rapier on here. So that is a 21 to hit.
Very nice. Yes, that hits.
So
You're going for the same one that Seraphine just attacked, or is this a different? There are 2 that are not frightened. There are 4 that are frightened.
All right, I'll go for a separate one that just looks separate from other people.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to find out whether they put all my smites in completely different places, and I'm just trying to find out where they are. There we go.
Yep.
2d. So I deal for my first attack. Sorry, my Wi-Fi is really shit. So I deal 9 piercing.
Yep.
And from the smite, that is, my fucking God, this is taking forever to roll. It's 10 radiant damage.
Wow. So 19 points of damage so far.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then my second attack.
Yep.
I'm just gonna roll to hit with my rapier again.
Mm-hmm.
Same person. Don't know if that's gonna hit. Probably not. It's gonna be something else. 11 to hit that person.
Does not hit.
Miss. And then I'm gonna use my bonus action, because I haven't actually used that yet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to, with my offhand, shoot at one of the injured ones with my hand crossbow.
One of the 2 injured ones with your hand crossbow. The same one or the other one?
Yes.
The same one or
Seraphine
the
one.
Seraphine's one. Okay. So you roll to hit for
Seraphine's
that.
one. I love feats. Oh, that was close. That is a 23 to hit with my hand
23,
crossbow.
That's a hit. That's a hit. Yep.
And I'm rolling. Sorry, for some reason the roll animation on my computer is really fucking slow, so it's taking double the
That's cool.
time.
Yep.
And then that's 7 damage from the hand crossbow.
Another 7 there. Okay. Yep.
And that is the end of my turn.
It's the end of your turn. Okay. So these guys are frightened of Peleus, but they're not afraid of anybody else.
Frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight. So as long as they can see me, they can't do it. They're not good at things.
They have disadvantage no matter who. Okay, gotcha.
So long as I'm in their line of sight, yeah.
That's a bit scary, isn't it? Okay, very good.
Well, especially now that I'm raging, I'm particularly scary to look at.
Right.
And with
A vision of terrifying. A vision of terror.
Vision of terrifying.
Rolling to hit at Avariel.
I can English well.
Disadvantage. Okay, so one of them is so scared he drops his sword as he swings at you, Avariel. That's his first action. He draws a short sword from his side and tries to attack with that, again with disadvantage. But he misses with his short sword as well. The next one is going for the wolf, but has disadvantage as well. Just keep reminding me about the disadvantage.
Will do.
Misses you with the first attack. Oh, yeah, it would have been a natural 20, except for the disadvantage. Pooh, what's your armor class in wolf form?
14.
Misses you. Very nice. Ivariel. Ivariel, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna wind up the captain.
Okay, you're lining up the captain. All right, he's the one.
Vine up the captain.
Vine up the captain. Oh my. Okay, and so let's have a look at your character sheet so we have an idea of what you're specifically talking about. This is a spell.
Yeah.
Are you using ensnaring strike?
Yeah.
Okay, snaring strike. Let's have a quick look at this. Is a second level spell. Or it's a first level spell. You're casting it at first or second level?
Second.
Okay. This is a bonus action. You'll have to concentrate for up to a minute to keep it going if it works. They have to make a strength saving throw, but he has disadvantage. So let's give him a saving throw with disadvantage. What is your... Oh, yeah, okay. You got him. He fails his saving throw. He doesn't seem to be able to move.
Okay.
So this is the guy that swung at you and dropped his sword, pulled out a short sword, took another swing at you, and then found that he's wrapped up in vines that have burst out of the cracks in the floor and the walls and just wrapped him up there. And he seems to be restrained at this point. Now you're going to roll a d6 to do thorny damage to him. So I'm rolling that on your behalf. That's 3 points of thorn damage. Double check. Oh, actually it's 2d6 because you're using it at second level. So that's a total of 8, I believe. So you've done 8 points of damage from that so far. That's your bonus action. You still have 2 physical attacks you have to use if you want.
I just put my sword through his throat.
All right, so you're attacking him to the face.
Yeah.
With your sword. Okay, and this is with your great sword.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a normal attack. There's no advantage for you guys at the moment, is there, that I can think of? I don't think so. Cool. No. You rolled a natural 17, which pops up to 22. That is a hit. So you do 2d6 plus 3 slashing damage. Oh my God, you rolled 2 6s on those 2d6s. So that's 15 points of slashing damage. Let me double check your character sheet to double check you don't have some special fates or traits or features here. You do have an extra attack, so you've got one more attack after this. Great Weapon Master. When you score a critical hit, that was not a critical hit though. Okay, never mind. Great Weapon Master attack. 1 bonus action. What is this saying? Oh, right. So you can use a bonus action to declare at any time, Barry, and you could do this for your next attack if you wanted to. You could lower your to hit bonus to gain plus 10 to damage, or you could keep your basically you get a -5 penalty to hit, but you get +10 to damage if you want to for your next attack. I cannot hear you.
I'll use that on him to take his head off.
You're going to do that? Okay, you're going to try. All right. So to hit Ivariel. Great sword. Here we go. I'm going to take 5 off that. You rolled a natural 20. So
Okay.
it's a crit, but it gets -5, but it's still a natural 20, so it's a crit. And it hits, so it's a crit with an extra +10 damage on this.
Eviscerate the dude.
Crit damage roll. 16 + 10 is 26 points of damage. That's pretty special. 26. Does not kill him though, and you do not take his head, but you definitely hit him in the shoulder blade between his armor points, and blood gushes out in his big jet from his shoulder, where his shoulder meets his torso. The next member of your troop tries to attack you. The next member of their troop, should I say, tries to attack you. In return, he has disadvantage. What's your armor class? Let's see. Varial. Oh, he just hits you, I think. Just barely hits you. Wait. Clear. Get out of my way. Okay, so you only take 7 points of damage, luckily for you. We shall add that to your damage. Done. All right. Nyla, back on you.
Right. Nyla has been snarling as she is a wolf. And she is there any, so all of the people, are they within 5 feet of my companions?
Within 5 feet of your companions, of any given companion, yes.
Okay, cool. I'm going to
They're
go
not
for
all within 5 feet of all the companions, but yes.
That's fine. I get advantage if the person I'm attacking isn't within.
Okay.
Because I am now a wolf and they have pack tactics.
Okay.
I'm going to target the one who looks very like bloody and isn't
wounded.
The most wounded.
Okay.
And I'm going to go for a bite attack.
All right.
And I'm just going to roll hand dice because
This would be the one that Ivariel just struck with his great sword. He's very hurt.
yeah. 19 + 5 for a 24.
That hits.
And 2d6 + 3 piercing damage. A 3 and a 6, so that's 9, 10, 11, 12 damage.
12 damage. Okay. Any bonus actions or other attacks?
Not as a wolf.
Not as a wolf. All right. One of the veterans takes a pot shot at Seraphine. He has disadvantage. He or she, you can't tell. They're wearing armor. Disadvantage. What's your armor class, Seraphine?
Hold on. The target creature must succeed a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Oh,
yeah.
He manages to succeed that saving throw.
Okay. Apologies.
Seraphine, what's your armor class?
I think you're muted.
You're mute.
16, sorry.
Okay. His blade glances off your pauldron and is deflected. The next attacker, oh no, they get 2 attacks. My apologies. Disadvantage. Same guy attacks you a second time, again with disadvantage. And again, he just misses with the second attack. So the next one comes up to Ivariel. It's rolling to hit you, but with disadvantage. Remember the disadvantage. Ooh, actually a 15. Does that hit Ivariel? Ivariel, what is your armor class? 16. No, he does not hit you. remarkably also glances off your armor. Peleus.
Or just at the end of each of the frightened guys' turns, they can make the saving throw again.
Oh, they can, right? Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think they do this with disadvantage because they're afraid.
That makes sense, doesn't it? Right. Spiral of death. Okay, so let's do that. Well, he's not getting any less afraid because he rolled a natural 1.
Fantastic.
What's the DC?
15.
15. Fail so far. Yep, everybody's failed so far. It's your turn now, Peleus.
Cool. The captain's still standing, right?
He is. Everybody's
Cool.
still standing so far.
Okay, cool. I'm going to swing at the captain with my battle axe. First strike is a 20, dirty 20.
That hits.
Fantastic. That's 1d8 plus my... That's a total of 12 because of it doesn't add my rage damage to this, unfortunately.
Right, and this is to the captain, right?
This is to the captain.
This is the one. So basically, what's happened here is Ivariel has smashed him in the shoulder between the plates of his shoulder blade and his helmet, causing a big spray of blood. Nyla has attacked him from behind with wolf claws, or a bite. It was a bite, I believe, bringing him down to his knees, and then you've hit him with an axe. How do you kill him?
Upswing. So catches him in the ribs, and I want this to lift him off the ground and send him across the room.
All right, very good. He goes flying into the wall, bringing down a tapestry next to the throne. Okay, do you have another attack?
Yes, I do. I'm going to
use some.
Is there
movement,
anybody immediately close to me?
Immediately close to you. There's several of them quite close to you. There's the number of them are within 5 to 10 feet of you. So you have, with your movement, you can get to any of them.
I'm just playing for theater at the moment. I'm gonna aim for. There was one other dude that wasn't afraid, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, and is he 5 or 10 feet away from me?
10 feet.
Okay, so I'm going to look over my shoulder to him, and my tail's going to twitch and just launch at him because it has the reach quality.
So you've got a 10-foot reach on that thing. Go for it. Roll to hit.
That's a crit 1.
Crit 1. Oh, okay.
Oh God. That's not good.
Okay, your tail goes smashing past him, hits the wall, penetrates the wooden boards that are backing the wall behind the tapestry, and is stuck.
This is reasonable.
You can move towards the wall, but you can't move away from the wall. This puts 4 of the soldiers out of your reach now.
Okay. Do I have any bonus actions? Let me double check. Oh God, it's not moving.
You can make an athletics saving throw on your next turn to remove yourself from the wall.
Cool. Yeah, that's the end of my turn. I can't do any more bonus actions.
All right. Very good. The nearest veteran attacks you. He still has. Oh, and first of all, it's the end of his turn. He gets to roll a saving throw.
Oh, damn it, because my tail's stuck, I can't use my reaction.
This guy has a crit 1. He drops his sword and starts heading for the door. Actually, as he does, he also fails his saving throw.
As he runs, can I use take an opportunity attack?
I think that because of your positioning and the fact that you're nailed to the wall, I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay, Death Arm, you're hiding behind the throne. You can stop reading Playboy magazine.
Who's still non-frightened?
One of the non-frightened ones is dead. The other one is still kind of currently becoming more and more surrounded by everyone. Although you've noticed that Adric has kind of nailed himself to the wall via his tail. Adric? Why did I say Adric?
Who knows?
You know who I'm talking about. Peleus.
Peleus. I will go and try and grapple the non-frightened one that everybody's surrounding.
Okay, you're going to grapple him. Okay.
Yep.
Make an athletics check.
I have my grapple already set up on my character
Your grapple
sheet.
check. Yep.
18.
Oh, very nice. Oh, I should be doing this with disadvantage. Yeah, you got him. You grappled him.
Cool.
All right, so you grab one of them, and you've now you're restraining him. What are the effects of the grapple? A grapple creature's speed becomes 0. Can't benefit from any bonus to its speed. Condition ends if the grappler is incapacitated. The condition also ends if the effect removes the grapple creature from the reach of the grappler or grappled effect, such as when a creature is hurled away by the Thunderwave spell. Okay, so basically you've just stopped them from moving.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So he is currently grappled. All right. Do you have any other actions or bonus actions on this round?
Not at this point, but it gives everybody the opportunity to get stuck in.
Okay. All right. Seraphine, it is your turn.
Am I still locked in battle with that same guy, or has he been?
Yes, you are.
Ah, okay, excellent. Then I think I still have my hunter's mark on him.
Mm-hmm.
So I will slash at him with my short sword.
All right. Roll to hit.
And that's the
27 to hit.
That's the one. Thank you. So then short sword damage is
7.
2 + 5.
Is that 27? Oh, that was a 19. Okay. Yeah. Shame you're not a barbarian, because he would have been a crit. Okay. 7 points of damage.
And then my hunter's mark damage, right?
All right. Yep.
5.
5. Okay. And your second attack?
I guess I'll do the same again. Short sword. Oh, I miss.
Yeah.
I think.
Sadly, that misses. Yep. Okay. That one glances off he parries it barely, feebly, but he does. All right. Very good. Death. No, it's not your turn. I'm sorry. It's Malakor's turn.
Yeah.
Did you say someone was making a run for it?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to drop my weapons, pull out my heavy crossbow, and take 2 pot shots at him.
Okay. You brought your heavy crossbow to dinner? Very well. Take a pot shot. Roll to hit. Dungeons and Dragons. I love it.
I mean, if we brought our long swords and great swords.
That's fair. It's reasonable. I mean,
I rolled a 9 for the first one.
Does not hit.
And then
this is a heavy crossbow.
Yes.
You have a feat that allows you to reload this very quickly, I assume?
Yeah, I have the crossbow expert's feat, which means I ignore the loading property.
Okay.
I also ignore disadvantage if it's within 5 feet. The second hit was a 19 to hit.
That's a hit. All right.
And then that's how much damage? I believe that's 8 piercing damage from the crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
How far away is this person?
10 feet.
10 feet. In that case, I'm gonna move to just try block his way from running.
Okay, well, you have to get to the other side of him. That's the problem.
If he's 10 feet away and I've got 30 feet, could I
make an athletics check?
Okay. It's gonna take a while to. I got a total of 17.
Right. Well, he rolled a 1, so he trips, and you find yourself in front of him, and he's on his knees in front of you as he begins to stand up. Do you have any other actions at this point?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Very good. Well, as it happens, he has an action, so he's going to attack you, but feebly with his disadvantage longsword. Actually, he dropped his weapon, didn't he? That's why he took off. Okay, so this is not with a longsword. This is an unarmed strike. But it was a 10, so I'm guessing that doesn't hit you.
Yeah, that misses.
Okay, so he takes an unarmed strike at you and misses. He takes a second unarmed strike at you. $18.
Just hits.
Just hits. Okay. Take 5 points of damage from an unarmed strike. All right. He's dead. Ivariel, it's your turn.
What else have I got that I can use in my little bag?
Your bag of trips. Well, you have some serious kick-assery with your sword, your great sword, but on top of that, you have Nature's Wrath, Channel Divinity, which also does vines, kind of like your other thing. You have healing, which you can drop on people if you want, but it requires touch. And as far as spells are concerned, your bread and butter is called Smite. You have Searing Smite up your sleeve right now, but you also have a number of other things. What else have we got? Command, Ensnaring Strike, Locate Object, Misty Step, Moonbeam, Searing Smite, Zone of Truth are your second level spells. Your first level spells are Command, Detect Magic, Ensnaring Strike, Searing Smite, and Speak with Animals. And that's it. That's what you got.
I used Sneering Smite.
Searing Smite.
Yeah.
Searing Smite. Okay, so what this is going to do is the next time that you hit a creature with a melee weapon during the spell's duration, which is a minute. But this is a concentration spell, so if you do this, you're going to release the guy that you have ensnared.
Isn't he dead?
As it happens, he is dead. Yes, you're right. Okay, very good. So you're going to do Searing Smite, and this is going to basically do fire damage on top of your weapon damage if you hit.
Okay.
All right, and it will do. Are you going to do this at first level or second level?
I'll do it at first level.
Okay. Actually, you've only got one first level spell slot left, because we're still operating on your spell slots from what we used earlier, because we did not have a long rest. So this is your last spell slot.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I'll save that and just attack with a sword.
Okay. All right, let's go. Great sword. You get 2 attacks with this. 19, natural 19 is actually a crit for you. So that's nice. You come on, get off my screen. Crit damage. Here we go. 20 points of damage from the crit. Who are you attacking?
I'm attacking
the same. Oh. Who?
The next highest person in power that seems to be in this room.
All right.
I'm trying to get rid of all the biggies and heavies.
Okay, well, basically, you've got some people who are frightened. You've got one dude, two people that are injured. One is severely injured and one is less severely injured.
I'll go for severely injured.
All right.
Knock him out while I can.
You take him right out. He's dead as a doornail. What do? You cut him in half? You take off his head?
Yeah, just cut off his head.
All right. So you decapitate this dude. Boof, he's gone.
Yep.
Excellent. That's your hunter's mark, no longer useful for you, by the way, Joanna, because that guy's just been decapitated. All right. You have another attack, Barry.
Okay, the next weakest person.
Next weakest link. Okay. Yep. So we're going to roll to hit with your great sword. Still have advantage. Oh my God, go away. Oh, no, that's that's not true. Come on, get out of my way. Ooh, okay, so that's a hit. And 15 points of damage to the next guy. All right, he's very hurt. Okay, very good. One of the frightened guys is going to try and attack you. This guy, right. Misses. Okay, and his second attack also misses. Never mind. Nyla. So
Yes, hello.
right, so you've got two frightened people near you. There's one very injured dude in the middle of the room, and on the other side of the room is a completely uninjured dude who is just stood up, but he has no weapons.
Is he near anyone? The one who's unarmed?
The unarmed guy is very close to Malachor. He's standing right in front of Malachor.
Right, I'm going to go for him. And I'm going to go for a bite attack.
Okay.
19 plus 5, 24.
That hits.
2d6 plus 3. I'm rolling the same as I rolled last time. I got a 6 and a 3 for a 9, 10, 11, 12. Just to show you guys.
All right. So what's your damage total?
12 damage.
Okay. Excellent. All right. And you
And
have
I
any more
just-
attacks?
I think I just have the one attack in wolf form.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go for is just jumping on him, and he has to make a DC
Strength.
strength save or become prone because I'm leaping onto him and
Right,
biting.
this is with disadvantage as well. Okay. He rolls a big fat 9, so he fails.
Mm.
So he's prone.
So he's on the ground.
Yep, back on the ground. Excellent. So he's just getting up in front of you, Malachor, when he gets knocked to the ground by a wolf and takes some more damage. Soldier A attacks Nyla from behind, but misses the first attack, misses the second attack. Soldier B takes an attack at Peleus. Ooh, okay. That hits, even with disadvantage. And that's actually, it's a flat roll. 6 points of damage, Peleus.
Oh, and I'm still raging, so it's down to 3.
Right. Very nice. The next soldier is taking an attack at Dala's double, Seraphane. Misses. Second attack also misses. Damn you and your disadvantage. Peleus, it's your attack. Well, they get to make
Okay.
saving throws now, don't they?
Yeah, make saving throws.
First one totally fails. Second one also fails. Okay.
Okay, so I have to use my action to get my tail out of. Oh wait, no, this guy's just standing right next to me, right?
Yep.
All right, fuck it. I'm just gonna hit him with my battle axe
All right.
because my arms are still free.
Yep. Roll to hit.
That's a 19 on my first strike.
That's a hit.
That is a total of 8 damage on that first strike.
8 points of damage. Okay.
Yep.
Done.
Second strike.
Yep.
It's a 14 to hit.
14 does not hit.
Okay. Okay, that's my turn.
That's your turn. All right. Very good. That guy's dead. Zaratharm Tregarthan.
Okay. I've still got the guy
Grappled. Yep.
grappled.
Yep.
Oh, I might. Has anybody else hit him?
Not yet. But he hasn't hit anybody else either.
Hmm.
He's not doing
Right.
much.
I might take a dagger to his throat.
All right. So you can roll to hit. I'll give you advantage for this attack.
Oh, that means I'll get my sneak attack.
Yeah.
So 17.
That just hits. You managed to slip it in under his jaw plate in his helmet.
So 5 damage plus sneak attack is another 8 damage.
How would you like him to die?
Just with a big gush of blood from the neck, just spraying everywhere.
All right. So at this point, there is actually only 3 guards left. One of them's on the floor. 2 of them now still terrified, looking around, saving throws for them. One of them seems to have broken out of his terror, but has come to a sort of a different place altogether, which is not so much terror as common sense. And drops his weapons and looks at the other one, the other survivor, and he drops his weapons and they back off. They put their hands up and they back off towards the door. See them moving towards the door.
Is the guy who I'm currently standing on top of also drop his weapon, or does he?
He doesn't. He already doesn't. He's already lost his weapon. There are weapons all over the floor though at this point because people have been dropping weapons left, right, and center.
Does he look like he also wants to leave?
He'd love to leave.
Nyla cocks her head and just sort of lifts her paw up off him
All right.
and gestures towards his friends.
He scrambles towards the door past you, Malachor, whose turn it is actually. Actually, no, it's not. It's Seraphane's turn.
All right. So are the remaining soldiers looking like they want to leave?
They do, yes. They are edging towards the door. They've put their swords down. They've put their hands up.
All right. Well, I think Seraphine's happy to let them go. She doesn't particularly want to.
They will go and alert the others if you do so.
Seraphine pulls her bow out and she's going to shoot some arrows.
Okay. All right, roll to hit, Seraphine. Are you going for number A or number A or B?
I'll go B randomly, but I think
that's a hit with your bow.
Is it? Okay.
Yep, 18, yeah.
All right, okay, yeah. So it was an 8, but I've got a plus 10.
Right. 6 damage. Did you move your hunter's mark?
I didn't, but
Well, we can say you did.
Okay, sure.
Because I'm a nice dungeon master like that. See?
Yeah.
It's your first time playing a ranger, so why not? Okay, so you moved your hunter's mark, so you get to add your hunter's mark damage.
A 2.
Okay, so that's a total of 10 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and your second attack?
Right. I guess I'll go for the same guy with my bow. That's only a 12, is it?
That does not hit, unfortunately.
It doesn't hit. Okay, missed.
Okay, Malachor.
So we just got 3 people basically gapping for the door, right?
Yeah, they're trying to get to the door. You're kind of in the way presently.
Okay.
You are the one thing in the way of the door.
I'm the one thing in the way of the door. I'm gonna point my crossbow at them.
One of these guys, his longsword is laying across your foot right now, like the handle is sitting on your foot.
Yeah. I'm gonna hold my crossbow at them. I'm gonna hold my action for if they do a thing funny, and I give the gesture for our team to move out, to get the fuck out of here.
All right. So
we should leave while we still can.
Wait a minute. Check the door. Is there blood all over the bodies? How bad is it?
You decapitated somebody in here, dude.
No, I
There's-
know,
there's-
but what I'm asking is the others is bad.
Yeah,
I
pretty
cleaved in
much.
somebody's chest
And
and
the
launched him
guys
across the
that-
room.
I
It's a
The
slit
guys
splatter.
that have
guy's throat.
surrendered.
This room is
What
a
a-
gore fest.
The
This
guys
is
that
going
have-
to be an emergency evacuation.
The guys that have surrendered, what are they wearing?
They're wearing splint armor
Splint armor.
and
Would it fit
uniforms.
any of us?
Will it fit any of you?
Yes.
Possibly, yeah.
They're all wearing mithril though. I feel like we
You would have
probably
to-
don't need armor.
You'd have to give up your own armor, which is designed to fit you and has been handcrafted and so on, and may even be passed down from generation to generation.
We can put it inside this bag because I have the bag of holding now.
That's true. You have the bag of holding.
We'll put our stuff. 3 of us will put that armor on.
Right, whom?
Anyone it can fit. Who can it fit?
Various is about
so
We're not out of. We're still in combat, right?
technically you're still in combat, but nobody's fighting right now. Everybody's disarmed. Well, the enemy are disarmed. 3 enemy.
Strip them, tie them up now.
They've basically surrendered.
Yeah. Okay. Strip them, take their uniforms off. Whoever fits them, put them on.
Okay, so how do you go about doing that?
first Peleus rips his tail out of the wall.
Okay.
And and then it snakes back inside his toga.
Right. You just wrecked an extremely fragile and precious tapestry that's been handed down from the primal elves.
Oh,
Just so that you know that.
someone will fix it. Anyway, Peleus gonna drop his toga onto the ground. All right, you, the big one, give me your armor.
Okay, so I'm going to roll 3 d20s, and you're going to roll a d20. Okay.
Cool. This is the 2. Peleus is 6'2" and jacked, by the way.
Okay. One of them is going to be just 3 inches smaller than you. That's the closest to a fit you can get.
Will this fit anyone better? You can drag me through the here in chains. This will also do.
Anybody else want to try on one of these suits of armor?
How big is Peleus?
Nyla will come over and just sort of nudge the armor onto her head.
Peleus is 6'2".
Are you how big are you, Nyla?
I'm a wolf. I'm a
Well,
dire wolf.
Right. Okay, in wolf form that doesn't really count. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to try the armor on?
I'll try.
Okay. Do you have stats for your size at the moment? Have you created them or not?
I don't know if I did. I think I'm just
That's okay. Then we're going to roll a d20.
all right, D20. Oh, I guess I can roll so you can all see. D20.
5.
5.
Oddly enough, one of these suits of armor fits you exactly. In fact, 2 of them fit you exactly.
While this is going on, Sarah's a bit bloody-minded at the moment. Things have not gone to her plan, so she's taking some blood while everyone's doing this armor business, and she's writing on the platform where the throne is.
Yep.
Hemeth Tereth is cursed, and she's deciding if she should write by the Feywild, but
In the name of the Winter Queen or something
in
like
the
that.
name of the Winter Queen, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. So she lays on a big curse.
Yeah. I mean, she's not magical. It's mostly just for effect.
Right.
Superstition, though.
Can you roll me a d20 superstition dice, please?
Indeed. Does that exist, or is it just a regular D20?
That's me making shit up. You're rolling a d20.
Maybe roll intimidation or performance.
That's a 13.
13.
Does that work for superstition?
We shall see. We shall see. This shall be taken into account by the gods. to observe everything. All right, very good. So you've written your curse. You change into the guard's clothes. Anybody else put on the guard's costume, or
I guess if something fits me.
roll me a d20?
Just gonna look at Pelias expectingly, like, do I stay a wolf or no?
No, you should. It is too hard to get a wolf to this palace, I imagine.
Okay, so Steve, you could get into one of these costumes. It's not going to fit very well, but you know, with a bit of jiggery pokery and you know, holding yourself properly, it's not very comfortable.
Is it going to slow me down?
No, it's not going to slow you down.
I don't really get what Everell's getting at, but because it's his order, I'll do it.
Now, this is what we do. You with your uniforms, look through the door first. They are not going to shoot their own uniforms first. All right. Who had the uniforms on again? Barry's asking now.
So
One?
Joe and Steve at this point.
You two.
Yeah.
Peleus, did you didn't put
No,
one on.
I was just like holding up this smaller armors, like to Malak or Navariel to go. Yeah, either of you.
What did you roll again? By the way.
I rolled a 2.
Okay. One of the other guards that is dead, you could probably fit one of the dead guards' uniforms.
This will do. I'll slide into one of those better fitting armors.
Right. Now, bearing in mind, it's going to take like 10 minutes to put on this armor.
Shit.
Putting on armor is not just like, it's not like putting on a nightie, you know. You're strapping on pieces and stuff and getting them to fit, and you need help from each other to do this. This is an ordeal.
Now, what I want to happen is the ones with the armor try to get to the portals. The ones that cannot have armor, make a kerfuffle, and let's keep our friends busy.
That's a plan. I'm not going to drop my wild shape. I'm still going to stay as a wolf.
No, but boss, I'll stay with you. Well, no matter what, I'm always by your side, mate.
All right, but you must get to the Winter Queen, you three. At all costs, do you understand?
Not like the idea of leaving anyone behind.
Sorry, to retro thingy. I don't have proficiency in heavy armor. I'm not going to put it on. Sorry.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right, then the one person. Which for the two again is
Steve probably doesn't have.
I don't either.
I'll give it a try.
I'm just not really understanding what you're trying to do, Barry.
I feel like
he's trying
our
to
armor's
do the
better.
stormtroopers with the Wookiee is what he's trying to do.
All right.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to do stormtroopers with the Wookiee so that the ones dressed up as the stormtroopers can get a message to the Queen. The ones that can't get dressed have to put up a fight and stay here, though that is their choice, he said.
Well, I'm not proficient with heavy armor, so
I'll try it on because I am. I thought we had 3 people. Hang on a second.
I feel like because we've all got mithril armor, it's definitely a better armor. If we've got something other way to disguise ourselves, that might be better.
I've got mithril armor.
I can't talk currently because I'm a wolf, but like this is out of game. Just to reiterate, everybody is wearing mithril armor because that's what we were given in the last game.
Okay. I should probably update that.
Yeah,
Mithril chain, I think it was.
I've got a mithril breastplate.
Right.
And I think everyone had some form of mithril armor because we were from the Winter Court and that was Alvin armor.
If we all wear our armor, we are going to die.
I mean, what you could do is you could take the surcoats and robes off the guards.
But we'll do
which
that then.
They
'cause
wear over their armor anyway.
Yeah,
I will climb into a robe, so at least I've
we'll
got
do
that
then.
hiding.
We'll do that then. It's still the same principle.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, we'll do that then.
And it is nighttime. It's like 10 o'clock at night now.
Oh, I
Should
didn't
I-
realize that.
Should I try get into the armor, or are we happy with how we are?
Just
And
put a
Get
cloak
into
over
our
top.
armor and put their coats over us. There. What did you call them, Russell?
Surcoats.
Put their surcoats over us.
Surcoats, tabards, cloaks, etc.
That kind of stuff. Anything that can make us look like them.
Let me have a look.
I'm going to unwild shape, and I am going to say, let's just go. I can pass without a trace. We'll try and sneak out. If that doesn't work, we'll go from there.
Good plan.
I have no more wild shapes left, so this is me for now. Let's head out.
We can all Misty Step if we need to.
Yeah, I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace.
We must keep Misty Step as our last desperate thing.
Also, Sarah, is there another portal anywhere near here, or do we need to go back to the same one?
Now the time to check.
Yeah, now is the time to check. We need to get out of here.
Okay, so I cast
your your class feature.
How long would it take to do that, though? That's the question.
Where is it?
It's an action.
Right. Where is the nearest portal?
But it has to be within 1 mile of you, which is definitely wasn't a mile. The last one wasn't a mile of you. You don't think it's going to be anywhere near here, to be fair. You could pretty much answer that question without having to use the feature.
What I'm asking is, do we need to go back through the prison with the scary monsters, or can we go out a different gate?
At this point, you don't know of any other portals. There was, Seraphine, you once used a portal that you found in the forest near Lithlian, somewhere in the valley, Lockhart Valley, that you did find. And that's how you got back to Citadel, but there's no guarantee it's still there. I'll tell you what you can do, though, is you can make an Arcana check for me.
Ooh, that's a goodie. What do you call that?
Wow, a natural 20?
Natural 20.
Right. So that's success. Okay, so what you know from having been to Citadel before and having actually spent some time here with your bow in the past, is that due to the passage of the moons and the suns, there are ripple effects that happen in the weave that cause these tears in the weave and disturbances that open somewhat randomly Feywild crossings in the forest, usually deep in the forest in the most isolated places, sometimes around ruins. And you know that there are some ruins around here beneath the city, out in the valley itself, probably closer to Lithlian, at least a day and a half from where you are right now. But those are the places where you are aware Feywild crossings seem to occur most regularly.
Which one's closer? The one by the...
They're about the same distance at this point. One of them is uphill and one of them is downhill, so there's that. And one of them requires going through the sufferance and the other one requires going into the forest, which is easier to achieve at this point. You could, heading through the sufferance, you're going to encounter endless amounts of guards and then the problem of the sufferance itself. As opposed to heading downhill into the forest, you're pretty much straight there. You need to move about a mile out of the city and you're in the forest.
And we can hide in the forest as well.
And you can hide in the forest. You can use all sorts of skills in the forest. There was something else I was going to say to this as well, but it'll come back to me.
I feel like we should go to the forest.
Yes,
but the Seraphine is the only one who knows this.
All right, yeah. I did ask her where we should go, though.
I feel the best course of action is to head down to the valley. There is pleasant treehouse village. The portals jump around in the forest around there.
All right, I feel like that is a good plan. Let's get out of the palace and then head towards forest.
All right.
And I've cast Pass Without a Trace on everybody.
Okay, so you'll get +10 to your stealth checks, I believe.
Hey.
All right. So I will get everyone to make a stealth check. Seraphine, it was a. Oh wait, that was the previous check.
I've got a disadvantage. Oh wait, that's because of the mithril stuff, and we
The
discussed.
mithril doesn't give you disadvantage.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I remember
But-
now why I'm not wearing mithril armor is that it's actually better for me not to in terms of AC wise because of my dex.
Okay.
Me
So I've
too.
realized that now.
Okay. All right. So Peleus, that stealth check was a 4, so it's a 14.
14.
Okay. Malachor is a 28. Nyla is a 17. Daathan is a 29. Seraphine is a 27. And Ivariel, stealth. Is a
20.
20. But not natural. A gentleman's 20 with your plus 10. I rolled a 10. Actually, I rolled a 9.
Was all
9
the-
plus 1 plus 10. So yeah. Okay, yes. Seraphine, question.
How's Steve doing for time? Because was there a game that he had to?
That is true.
Yeah, I probably need to go.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
All right. Well, why don't we say that with your pass without trace, you all headed off into the forest. I think we can say that Steve is going to make it ahead of time out to the Feywild. So if you want to leave now, Steve, that's reasonable.
Okay.
If you go ahead.
See you lot later.
Do we
See you,
need to
Steve.
talk about, because you were going to stay with Barry's character, is it
Well,
now that
he was trying to, but
now that you're out of danger, maybe it's not so
yeah.
imperative.
it's not so imperative. Yeah.
Maybe Barry sends you back to speak to the Winter Queen.
Yeah, I send
Yep.
him back. I send
Yep.
him back. I order.
As an
Right.
advance party.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Very good. So
Cool.
that's you done.
See you later.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank
ya.
you.
As for everybody else, what would you like to do at this point? Do you want to continue for another half an hour, or do you want to narrate the ending of this scenario?
I'm
How
cool
am
to
I
go for
staying
another half hour.
behind? That's the question.
Yeah.
Right. That is the question, and that's the thing. So like if we were to drag this out, there would be a chase, and I would kill off half these characters, or they may escape, but they may escape only so that you can live. But in the end, you would either be captured or the portal will close.
I can create a wall of thorns that I think I need to have as a concentration. So in order to keep that up, I would need to stay behind, and then the portal could close.
So that would be
Drama.
right. So you basically sacrificing yourself so the rest can get out.
Yeah.
All right.
But like accidentally, because I was like, I'll keep this up. Hold on, let me just double check that is actually a concentration spell. Where is it? It's part of my wall, my Staff of the Woodlands, Wall of Thorns, 6th level, conversion 1 action. Yeah, it's concentration up to 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
So,
that seems reasonable. Do you guys agree with this scenario?
I like the scenario, but just for Peleus wouldn't leave Nyla behind. So how would that resolve?
Oh, that's easy. I knock him on the head and take him with.
Well, you have your last remaining spell. So
That's-
what
I do.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so let's look
Elves
at
can't be put to sleep by magic, but
That's
like
true.
a
You
whole
could-
person or something?
old
Spells.
person.
Let's see what he's got. Command.
Commanded
Um,
work.
Use
right, so he could-
command then.
He commands you through the portal.
Yeah, and I look at her like, I'll be back someday. Look.
Well, as we don't know the portal's going to close. We just know
I
it's
think the portal
that way.
sort of starts closing. At this
okay.
point, you guys are it was already closing when you found it, I think. So that's why you're sort of in a rush here. And everything's sort of coming to a head. You can hear the black guards in the distance coming through the forest. The portal's closing. You've got your vine wall up protecting it at the moment. You're concentrating on that. Peleus is refusing to step through the portal. Ivariel commands him to step through the portal. Seraphine.
Yeah.
Can't hear you. Muted.
Sorry. What if on the way down into the valley, Seraphine finally lets out that she's pregnant?
Right.
Maybe she sustains some kind of injury and she's having a hard time. So even
and then Peleus has to get her out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
that works.
Saving the command. I like the command though. Damn it. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
well, if you'd rather
No. We'll do it your way. I like your way better. I did like the command though, but I think as a choice of those two, that's
there has
the
a
more dramatic
massive
choice.
Sophie's choice for Peleus though, because he has to choose between his sisters.
My character will even say to him, "You have to make a choice, and it has to be now."
That could be the command. Choose.
Yeah. Choose.
Because he won't choose. Right. What about Malachor? What's his deal with this? Her deal.
Her deal. Thank you. No, you corrected yourself. Thank you. I think Malachor would probably also be the one on the other side of Seraphine helping her through. So while the whole, you got to choose now, it's Malachor that's kind of helping Seraphine if she's injured, hobble on.
I think whoever has to get through last is going to have to Misty Step it.
That would probably be Ivariel.
It'll be me.
It'll be you. Because you're making sure they get first, and then.
Yeah. So, what is Ivariel's final words to her before he leaves? Does anyone have any final words for Nyla before they leave?
Actually, she's got to escape, doesn't she?
She does.
What Ivariel's going to do is, because he knows she can't hold that there forever.
Yeah.
Okay, when she can't hold it, he rushes, because I'm never going to use this character again, am I?
You might, if we do like another session with these groups at some point in the future.
We could end up in the Feywild.
We could we could do another story with these characters on stream, even if you wanted to. You don't have to. If you don't like this character or you don't connect deeply with it, then that's fine. You could always roll up a new character for that scenario if that was.
I'm not connected.
Question:
deeply.
Am I?
So what he does when she loses it, he attacks them. He attacks the blackguard.
Okay.
And
so
while he's doing that, she goes.
He goes down fighting.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't even make it to the portal. Maybe we lose our leader on the way to the portal, and it's just like, oh shit, we don't have a leader anymore. We need to get the fuck out of here. Get to the Queen. That explains why.
I have the feeling that
Steve's character keeps going because his commander's dead.
I think what's going to happen is Barry is going to command Steve's character to go because he literally will not leave his side if he doesn't. Mm-hmm. I think that it's dramatic for Barry to sacrifice his character like that. So I like that. I want to go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And then, so basically at that point, you're holding the thorn wall up when he charges through it to give you an extra few seconds to get through because the thorn wall's running out of time too, or the portal's closing.
And he says, "Go now!" as he's running up to them.
Right, and you have to charge through the remains of the thorn wall to get to the enemy.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Drama.
Coming through the thorn wall, you take 78 piercing damage. As you go through the portal.
Oh, when it falls, then when it falls,
I just go out there and take as many as I can out.
So the blackguards see the thorn wall collapse, and the last thing that we will see is them looking at Ivariel, who says,
"Are you
say hello to the Raven Queen?"
Right, and he swings. All right, and we'll give you a final attack roll just to see what that looks like, because I think that's fun.
Oh God.
Well, it's an 11 to hit, but that's okay. All right, so you go into combat, and that's the end of Ivariel. Right.
Do I get through the portal or do I not get through the portal? I'm confused at what's happening.
Well, actually, that's the point, isn't it? You're not supposed to go through the portal.
No.
That is the point.
Portal's gone. The
But I'm
portal's
not-
gone.
But I don't
Right.
end up in the sufferance anymore because we've retconned that with the stream.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
Hide
can
him. You gotta hide.
I
You're in the
can
woods of Lithlian.
I can Misty Step 30 feet and I can spend a charge on my staff, turning it into a tree,
Okay.
which grows up and blends in with the forest.
Okay.
And I would Misty Step straight up into it.
Okay.
So I disappear in the.
All right. And
It's just a
eventually
tree there.
So
and they're not
eventually
gonna
the
see-
blackguards will dissipate, and you will find the spot at which your friend Ivariel, or at least your companion Ivariel, died. You find the bloody stone upon which he died among the ruins in the deep forest near a stream. And after they're all gone, you look up, and staring at you, Nyla, is a black unicorn.
I'm gonna spend the charge and speak with animals.
You don't need to speak with animals. It's a fucking unicorn.
Hello. Hello.
It puts an image in your head of a person who you will later discover is Leith Mistralath, who holds the key to your return to the Feywild.
Okay.
How's
Thank
that
you.
for a hook? Does that work for a hook?
I think so.
I think so.
All right, excellent. So
I
you've
was
got
like-
you've got a vision of what he looks like, and you know that he has the key to your return to the Feywild.
Because I can't find portals. That's not
Right.
my thing.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, and I think we should lock it down there. If anyone's got anything else they want to add or say, that's the
I
end
feel
of the
like
game.
it's a
at least.
very, very anime